Hello, welcome to Get Em's brainchild. This is drunk commentary time.
Oh, okay.
You've been banned from greater podcasts.
Yes.
So you've come down to the basement at Reviewing History.
I wouldn't say the basement. I would say the basement of Reviewing History. If Reviewing History was like a towering monolith that it is, this is the sub basement.
At the top, do we have like a Hugo?
Yeah. At the bottom, this is like where the machine pit is for the elevator.
Okay,
yeah,
I see.
Yeah. And I'm underneath that.
It's the coal of the Titanic.
Yes.
You're going to be locked with the passengers when we inevitably crash and burn.
With the other Irish.
Yeah.
Doing jigs and stuff for fun.
So Get Em texted me and he wanted to do drunk commentary time because I think he needed a new excuse to drink.
I don't need a new excuse to drink, but I need a new avenue to bitch and moan about things sometimes.
Okay, and you are banned from TSD currently.
Yes, until the trial.
So, I think you just had some thoughts you had to say about Dune. So we're actually going to produce 2 pieces of Dune content. We're going to do a full Dune 2 review.
Yes.
But that's not what this is. This is a commentary track to the first Dune.
Yes, so Dune Part One.
Part One. So what we're going to do is we'll play the fanfare and like maybe the first like 10 seconds of the movie for you guys. And then it's just going to be us on Arrakis talking about the movie. And you could follow along and mute the movie and if you want.
Yeah, just put it out on Front Street. I am a huge fan of the Dune books. The book Dune. I've not really read the other ones, but the book Dune I've read 10 times all the way through. It's something I keep on my phone. So like if I'm in the bathroom and I need to kill time, I just read Dune. I just pick a page and just start reading Dune. So I do love the book.
You had the urge to talk about Dune, which is why we're doing this. So
yes.
All right, with that, let's start the movie and the fanfare to... Oh, by the way, it's Dune 2021. It's not the David Lynch one.
Or the Sci-Fi Channel one, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So here we go. The movie is starting. You should be hearing a man speak in Sarara.
I think it's a which is throat singing. And actually, I kind of know the guy who helped the guy do the throat singing. His name is Dino Andrade. He was married to his wife was the lady from South Park who
the one who
sadly
died?
Committed suicide.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we just had the Warner Brothers Tower going. I think I saw the
Animaniacs were there. Yes. He was singing the country song. So what got you into Dune? Like, what made you pick up the book?
I want to say, I heard that I was big in the Sci-Fi Channel at the time. Okay. And I want to say that it was like there's making. I've seen the movie and like they're making the movie again, and I'm like, okay.
Did you see the first one in theaters?
No, definitely not in theaters. I don't think my parents were bringing me out to a David Lynch film in the early '80s.
What was that, 84?
I think you would be the expert on that, not me.
I'm pretty sure it's 1984. Yeah. But definitely don't quote me on that. I've only seen it once.
Yeah. And I was a Sci-Fi Channel used to play like the full versions. Like, okay, this is the director's cut. This is the extended director's cut. This is the extended director's, we found it in a vault cut. Like, okay.
Did you ever...
So like I knew the ones like that had the narration, the ones that didn't have the narrations, all that other stuff.
Did you ever hear the plans for Jodorowsky's Dune?
I watched the
documentary.
I even downloaded, like there was links to a Google Drive that had like some of his artwork. And it's amazing. Villanueva is very close. Like his...
What do you think of his style in this?
I like the... I just like the expansiveness, the music and everything. It's definitely something that... Like people are like, you got to watch it in IMAX, and you kind of do.
It's worth it. Like to pay the extra money to go see it as big as possible. Like the scale is just awesome in this.
Part of the reason I did love Lynch's Dune was that he was big into the visuals. Like the still suits looked amazing. The stylization, like the shields in the original Dune were hand drawn, frame by frame. On the frames.
Were they really?
Yeah. Like they really didn't have computer generated technology back then. So that's like how they did that kind of stuff.
So I've seen that fight scene a bunch recently with Patrick Stewart and Kyle MacLachlan.
MacLachlan, yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen that fight scene a bunch recently, and like the shields are just so funny to look at now, but
it makes sense, and it kind of is to what's described in the book. Like in the book, there is shield fighting is tough because you can actually, the molecular exchange of air between the inside and outside of the shield is slow. So it can get to the point where like you're breathing stale air and every hit is generating ozone. So you're not getting full oxygen. So it's kind of cool, which again,
it wears you down.
Yeah, it helps wear you down. So.
And here we see a bunch of those are.
I think that's the Harkonnens leaving the planet.
Right?
Yeah, I believe this is spoken by Chani.
Yeah, and this is all kind of just setting up what's happening.
Yes.
If I'm correct, the Emperor has told the Harkonnens to leave Arrakis to the Atreides.
Well, no, the Emperor has told the Atreides to take over Arrakis.
Okay.
And just
run
the Harkonnens.
The spice operations.
Yeah, run the planet. Yeah, the planet is yours.
Now, one thing...
Which is dangerous.
Yeah. Now,
because...
well, real quick, one thing neither movie really does is they don't tell you why spice is important.
It's
other than getting you high.
Well, no. It's not that it gets you high. Some people are spice sensitive. The more you... It's like a genetic thing. But it's called the geriatric spice. So it prolongs life. But once you take it, you have to keep on taking it. So once you ingest it, like you got to take it. And so that's like, it hooks you in. So people want to live longer. It's just a basic necessity of, I want to live longer.
So they need like a Wesley Crusher to come and say a drug isn't good.
Why do people get willingly addicted? But like now the people on Arrakis can't, the people of Arrakis can't not be addicted to it.
Yeah, because it's
exposed to it. No, it's exposed to they're exposed to them in the environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love these sets. Like I just love the way this world looks. To me, the Atreides, like, and what I also like about the Dune series. So I read the first Dune book. That's really it. And I watched it before this. I read it once.
Okay.
And by read, I listened to an audiobook because I don't have time to read. But I did it before this movie came out because I wanted to refamiliarize myself.
Okay.
And in my head, I always gave different Earth countries like kind of the ancestry of the Dune planet.
Okay.
So to me, Caladan. I always kind of, because it sounds like Catalan from Spain, I always like put that they're Spanish in my head. Like they're Spaniards.
I've always held that they're of almost like a Scottish.
Oh, really?
Like they're from a lush area. So I always just seen them as a little more like the highlands of like the bull is big with them.
Yeah.
Like the grandfather, Leto's father, the Great Duke, he died in a bullfight. So like
that's another reason. See, that's Spanish.
Yeah, but like it always seemed like it was just a lush world. Like it's sea power he's talking about. So I just see those as being more of a sea country than Spain is. Even though I know Spain has a very lush sea industry. I don't want to put down the Spaniards.
Yeah, they had the biggest Navy fleet for a while until Sir Francis Drake smacked them up and showed them what's up.
I'll give you that.
But that's
I listen to Reviewing History. I'm not on it.
That's just my like head interpretation. I have nothing to base that on. And like the Fremen, I've always kind of in my head because they're going on jihad and stuff. I've always had them as Muslim coded almost.
I will have to say, up until I saw Dune 2 the other night, I had never given them any thought as to that.
Really?
Like they were literal humans on another planet. So like I completely removed them from being associated with a culture.
See, because in the book they're going on, literally it's jihad. So So in my head, that's just how I read it. Like I was like, oh, these are where our current Earth situation. These are future Muslim societies that have changed, and it's just a word in the culture almost. That's
I see them as they're very oppressed because like the spice was found on their planet. I want to say possibly like Aborigines. Like they were there. They just want to live their lives, and they're fighting against off-worlders who come in and just try to oppress them. And they are very religious, but I never saw their religion as being like very like any one religion. Their religion was just very hunter-gatherer, because in the book it's explained that they bounce from planet to planet to planet to planet constantly. They're just constantly getting driven off. Their existence is suffering. It's got
now get them. Who are these people?
This is just the Emperor's Herald.
Okay.
But like, it just goes to explain like part of just like how rich everything is like he's just here to deliver a message and say, hey, do you accept? Which again in the book is just done like with a sealed tube, but they like land. They had to try to explain the Spacing Guild, and
he's a Mentat, right?
He's a Mentat, and they don't really explain Mentats. Part of the reason I was a little upset, like except for like the white eyes, they don't really explain what Mentats are. Basically, in the Dune universe, there was a big computer revolt. And so they banned thinking computers, except for humans. So there's certain humans who
there were leaked pictures of an AI Taylor Swift, and that made them ban it, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. That's what started it.
Yeah.
Once she was banging Oscar the Grouch in Philadelphia alley, they had to start banning.
They were like, no one should be in Philadelphia, and they put the kibosh on it.
Like I know, like that one outfit is part of the downspout from like a washing machine, but it's great. It's just great.
Now, Dennis Villanueva or Villanuevo? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, if you want me to pronounce your name properly, have like an American sounding name, like Johnson, Jones, Flanagan,
like Paul Atreides. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
Like when you get into like Leto, is it Leto, Harkonnen? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't pronounce. I have bad pronunciation, but I read an interview with him recently, and he's like, I hate that I have to use dialogue in my films. I don't want to explain anything. He's like, I wish I could do everything visually. And he goes, the only thing that stops me from making a silent movie is I don't want the gimmick of like, oh, he made a silent film.
Yes.
So he's like, I try to not explain things on purpose. He's like, I want the audience to have to catch up or use their brain.
I like this. Like, we have space travel, but we're still using wax seals. Like it speaks to certain things, but I love it. I like, this is the kind of stuff I love.
Do they have the signature, like the seal in the book?
Oh yes, the ducal signet ring is big. It's like that's what like lets you. It's the when the Duke wants to send something, but doesn't want to be there with a trusted carrier, he'll send the ducal signet, the ring itself, and it's like, yo, this is coming from the Duke. Don't question it.
And the Duke, of course, died. He got cancer on the set of The Conqueror.
And his son as well, didn't he?
I think. Oh no. Well, I don't know
Sean
about
Wayne Jr.?
I don't know about his son. I know his grandson. Speaking of Oscar Isaac, the Mandalorian himself. Oh no, Pablo Pascal's the Mandalorian. I always get them mixed up. But his John Wayne's grandson is the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Well, one of the stunt guys.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one of my other problems with the book.
Okay.
Or the movie versus the book is the choice of who plays Gurney Halleck and who plays Duncan Idaho.
Okay.
Gurney Halleck is supposed to be like a troubadour. Like he's always here with like a quick. He's like he with quotations and all this other stuff. He's flamboyant, and they give that to Josh Brolin, fucking Thanos, and whatever he played in No Country for Old Men. Meanwhile, you have Jason.
Aquaman.
You have Jason Momoa, who is like the definition of flamboyance, and like he's just coming in like, hey, I'm a fighter pilot. Like, he's like, hey, you gotta, you check this rudder. It's like, okay. And they're making him Duncan Idaho, which is supposed to be, he is supposed to be the like the diplomat spy. Like, if you want to like smooth things over, you send Duncan Idaho ahead, which is what they do in the book, and they're doing here. And they're like, he can do it. Like, he is that tactful. I wish
you would swap them.
I would swap them totally. I do love Brolin, but like it just doesn't seem it doesn't seem right for that like Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart played him
in the David Lynch one.
In the David Lynch one, and Patrick Stewart can play that like. Versus,
wow.
I can't remember who the other guy who.
I don't remember who Duncan Idaho is.
Exactly, you don't remember. Fucking Patrick Stewart's going into battle with holding pugs, shooting people. Shooting people when there's an invasion. That's how great. That's who I see.
It also helps that we know who Patrick Stewart is very well because we're TNG fans.
Yes.
So we'll make note of that.
But he even plays it like that. He can be that. I'm happy, and I can. You see Patrick Stewart throwing out like a quotation from Shakespeare, and it makes sense. Like, he just seems like that kind of person. Whereas Josh Brolin was like, "Last poor Yorick, I knew him well. Horatio, a man of jest he was." It just doesn't seem right. So.
Now, where they're just on like a military base, right? They're not on Arrakis.
No, they're getting prepared to go to Arrakis.
Okay.
And Paul's telling I'm going to blank on names sometimes. Paul's telling him about his dreams because Paul has dreams that eventually come true sometimes. So we're foreshadowing that he has.
And why does he have that? Just it's in his blood from his mother, or it's just Bene Gesserit training?
Okay, we're gonna. If you do, you want to get like that deep into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Bene Gesserit. Okay, Bene Gesserit are supposedly they're just like the ultimate concubines. Like they're the ladies.
Oh, I thought they were like nuns.
It's
both.
It's weird. Yeah, they're like space nuns, but like oh, if you want a prim and proper lady who's good with like numbers and everything else like that, you get someone who's Bene Gesserit, who's been Bene Gesserit trained. But part of the thing is that they are the quiet power. They are, I think it's the sword that's in the fist.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, they have plans. And big thing about Dune, especially the book, is plans within plans within plans.
They say that in this movie too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, you have to because like it's so big in the books, you have to say it constantly. So what they're trying to do is they have the Bene Gesserit are blind in a certain area, and
like as far as seeing like the future,
seeing
right?
seeing everything. Yeah, the future, the present, the other things, and that is because they are female. So they need a male version, and every time they've tried a male version to take a specific thing that ascends them, the person dies. So they're like, okay, we need this different combination of
blood, DNA,
and DNA, and everything else like that. But they can't, they don't really have genetic engineering, which I don't think Herbert knew about at the time. So like, we're going to do it by breeding. So they've had this breeding program in place for centuries. And
as part of this grand design master plan that they have
to bear the Quetzalcoatl cataract.
They basically have almost like their own subterfuge, like power play.
Oh, totally. There's things that Bene Gesserit can do that like they don't even want anybody else to know about. Mm-hmm. Like they can pick locks. They know languages. They're like the best of like they're like C-3PO. Like, oh, okay, I know this language just by hearing a little bit of it. They can hear someone speak and be like, wait a minute, this person came from this planet. Like they are that, trained. So they're trying to get this ultimate being. Jessica was supposed to bear a daughter who was to be married off to another bloodline, and then that child should have hopefully been the Quetzalcoatl cataract. She loved her Duke too much, and she bore a boy child.
And was the Duke married? Because
Duke is not married. She is just a concubine.
Yeah, but he never marries anybody because he loved Jessica from the book, right? Do I have that right?
He loved her, but also it gave him more political power.
Okay.
In that he could court other great houses and be like, hey, maybe I can get married to your daughter and you could be part of the Atreides.
Okay.
And it gave him a lot of power and it didn't bind him to anybody. And it also didn't involve him in like feuds. So like if he was with this minor house, these other minor houses wouldn't be against him then because he was aligned with this major house. So it made him desirable. Like the Atreides is like one step below the Emperor of like great houses.
Well, they've risen up. Like that's why the Emperor kind of wants to neutralize their power.
Yes.
Because they're ascending,
Yes.
And what do you think of the father-son dynamic between these two? I like it.
It is good. It's what I picture someone who like has to be involved in all this stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wants the best for his son. In the book, I'm not sure if they address it here, but in the book, it's believed he could be a mentat. So he agreed to have him mentat trained, but you can't tell a potential mentat that they're being mentat trained.
Okay.
Until a certain point, and then it clicks. So, but like he wants the best for somebody. Also understands the danger they're in, and that they're this great house, and he's not a weakness.
It's Game of Thrones shit.
Yes.
You
are under constant, like there's in the book, there's poison, there's things have to get scanned with poison snoopers because like people will, it's Chamerky and Chumacy, which is like either poison by drink or poison by food.
There's all these assassins too. I love this scene.
Yes. Well, this is establishing the shields.
Which you need. You have to show people. That's why you need to have that close up there.
Yes, yes.
To show, it goes through if you go slow.
Yeah. You can explain that the slow blade penetrates the shield, but the fast blade doesn't. And like at this point in the book, they know that there's treachery about. They're not sure where, but they know there's treachery about. So like Paul, like this lesson starts going beyond real, like a training exercise. And he gets worried, like, is this the assassin? Have they turned Gurney Halleck?
Yes, in the book, yeah, that's in the book because they know there's like a leak and a mole.
Yes.
And a lot of the book is finding out who like the scumbag is. And they kind of in the book, they want you to believe it's Gurney.
No.
I felt like they did.
Okay, no, I think that they played it out that we know exactly who it is. We know exactly who it's not, but they let people believe it's a certain person.
Okay.
Gurney Halleck was, his entire family was enslaved by the Harkonnens, and he was in their slave pits. His entire family was killed by the Beast Raban, and he has what's known as an ink vine scar along his side, it's a whip made out of a vine from some planet that, like, if you get struck by it for years, it will twitch.
Okay.
Like painfully twitch like that. Like it's meant to hurt. And so he has this ink vine scar, and that's why he is really totally against the Harkonnens.
I see.
Yeah.
There's more backstory there.
Yeah.
I do have I think Timothée Chalamet is actually a good actor,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of don't buy him as Paul, where
Okay.
it's like, I wouldn't be scared to fight this little twink boy, you know?
But that's kind of the way it's portrayed in the book, is that he's almost a man of 12 years old. Like he has been trained by, these are people, Gurney Halleck, Duncan Idaho, these are people who are feared throughout, and through for Hawat, the Mentat, they are feared in the Imperium. And so him being trained by them, like to specific levels, like level with them, makes them scary. It makes him scary as can be.
Now, do you think that he's going to open a chocolate factory on Arrakis eventually? Do you think that's in his designs?
When we see the sand walk later on, yes. Yeah, like I totally, like, I think I floated the idea. I'm like, I think he was practicing dancing as Willy Wonka in Dune. But you know what? Did you see Wonka?
I did not yet, no.
I liked it.
Yeah?
I don't think the songs were as catchy as the Gene Wilder version.
I mean, what could?
But it was a pretty darn good movie, and I didn't object to him in it. I really kind of liked him in it. It was a little corny at times, as like everything else can be. Like, because let's face it, the Gene version was dark.
It is.
Like, it was undertone dark, and this isn't at undertone dark. This is supposed to be like, he is.
Speaking of dark, we have the dark, bleak world of the Harkonnens here.
Yes, Gady Prime.
And I like this performance of the Baron. Like, I like Stellan Skarsgård acting. However, I absolutely love the grotesqueness in the original Lynch Baron.
Oh yeah, like with the
pustules and like
and
boils.
the cow and the cat and like the guy's playing the music and he's like getting drenched in oil. Oh yeah,
it's utterly repulsive.
Because in the book, let's face it, in the book, the Baron loves young boys and has no problem killing young boys after he has his way with them. And yeah, you kind of, that's problematic. You don't really want to address that. So
I mean, if you really want to make your villain hateable.
This is kind of a cool scene in that, in order to explain the traveling of the distance, that's the other planet behind the ship, and this is the new planet in front of the ship. So that's how they're trying to explain that that the guild navigators create a bridge between the two planets to create almost instantaneous space travel. They don't explain in the movie that the guild has.
It's like a launch point, right? Kind of.
No, like you put everything into it's almost like Futurama. The ship doesn't move. The universe moves around the ship.
Oh,
almost.
Okay.
It's creating this bridge point so you can load all, and they're the only ones who can do this. They can find this safe way between the planets, and it's near instantaneous. And they explain in the book, you can have, when you're on a guild ship, you can have a Harkonnen next to you and an Atreides next to you, and they will not mess with each other. Because if you mess with somebody like while you're on the ship, you're banned from space travel, and you are then now stuck. Like, there is just so much space in between the worlds that you need them. Even if you have ships capable of traveling in space, they can't travel the distances that the guild ships can.
And the guild, they decide, based on how much they're getting and how important it is to help you or not, right?
Well, the guild just care about money.
Okay.
All they want is money, and they bleed everyone dry. They bleed everyone dry to the point where, like, they don't really want to get people pissed off about them. So like they slowly raise their prices up, and it's like, oh, okay, it's a pain in the butt, but it's not enough that I'm going to revolt.
Yeah.
And that's why they do things, because they need the spice.
What is the currency backed by in the Dune universe? Is it spice? Is it gold?
Solaris? If I'm probably wrong. I believe it's Solaris, but again, Solaris is never explained. I don't know, the difference between science fantasy and science fiction, as said by Red Letter Media, I believe is totally correct. Science fiction, it's about like this is how a warp drive works.
Yes.
And we need this, and this is how interplanetary commerce works. Meanwhile, science fantasy is we get in the ship
and we have a magic light.
We say punch it, Chewie, and we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we have a magic stick that, doesn't end.
Yes.
Now this is Yui.
Dr. Yui, played in the original movie, the Lynch version by Dean Stockwell.
Okay.
Amazingly great.
And Yui is a real scumbag from what I remember. Isn't he the leak?
Yes, he is the leak, but he's also, due to that diamond scar, he has gone through supreme training. Anyone with this supreme training could see to an emperor, and the emperor would never have to worry for his life. It's supposed to be unbreakable. It is the most unbreakable of breakable things. There's the bull that killed the old Duke. Like they cut the head off the bull after he killed him, sprayed his horns with a special fixative, so the blood of the old Duke
will always stay there.
Yes. It's
that's cool.
Yeah, it's explained in the book, and it's funny. Like she's like, "Don't ever try to clean that. That's the old Duke's blood." Like, she's like, "Okay, if that's what you want, I'm gonna do this."
Now this is my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Okay.
And the dialogue is, pretty much taken from the book for a good portion of its specific lines. And they're said in like every version of Dune in this scene.
Yeah, because it's
that iconic and important.
I'm trying to think, it's like a point that you can't change.
Yeah. You have to do this. Now, this, can you explain to me kind of how we got to this point and what is supposed to be happening here?
This is the Reverend Mother. I'm going to blank on why she is testing Paul. She's testing him to make sure he's human. And I don't know. I think she's trying to test to see if he is possibly worthy of being the Quetzalcoatl Cataract, because he's not supposed to be.
I thought this was part of his Bene Gesserit training.
No. It isn't. It isn't.
I thought they all have to do this.
I guess so. I'm just taking it the way I've taken it.
Okay.
In that, to test to see if they have control. So what they do is they put an instant poison to their neck, and they put them in this box that through nerve induction creates pain, like in a pain that you cannot believe.
The pain box, yeah.
The pain, and like she's like in the book, she says like people would pay or whatever it is to get this access to this technology because it's like so effective. Like it leaves
it breaks everybody.
Yeah. And you have to endure the pain. Like in the movie, like he pictures his hands burning like to a crisp and everything else in the book as well. And if he can withstand that, then he is human.
Yes.
A true human.
Yeah, because an animal will just try to escape.
Just like an animal will try to gnaw its leg off in a trap. So would a not human.
They want him to be mentally strong, basically.
Yeah, but now that you're reminding me, I think I do remember that Jessica went through this test as well. So,
and she feels his pain, right?
Because she's done this.
But she's like connected to him in a way or something.
No, I know. Like this is the part of the movie that I don't like is that Jessica is not as strong. Like she should be a stronger female character.
You don't think she's strong enough in the movie?
She is. I think nowadays people call her like a Mary Sue.
I don't think she's a Mary Sue.
No. I think in the book she is a Mary Sue. Like she has all this power. Like she can do all this stuff. And people probably consider her a Mary Sue, but it's part of what the Bene Gesserit are. But it's tough for people to understand, like not watching the movie or not reading the book, that the Bene Gesserit have this much power hidden. Like I don't think people can understand. Like I have all this power and I don't flaunt it.
Yeah, they go about it and
like they're very intensely subtle. Like they've done it for centuries, being this subtle.
I mean, they have what's it called? Basically. They have mind control almost. They could tell you what to do with the voice.
The voice, yes. The voice, it hits you deep.
Like on like a primal level.
Yeah, it's a subconscious level. The voice hits you. So like you betray your body betrays your mind, I think is how Thufir describes it, like when he gets hit by it. And but they don't it's brought up that if she wanted to, she could make the Duke do whatever she wanted to.
Yes, she could.
But she doesn't. She could use the voice on him, and she doesn't. Because again,
Yeah, they could take over using just the voice if they wanted.
But then if they did, they would be attacked.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they don't want to do
from far.
That. Well, they'd be attacked. Well, no one would trust a Bene Gesserit anymore. So you just don't. You don't get a Bene Gesserit concubine. You don't get a Bene Gesserit wife. You avoid all this stuff, and then now they're not in places of power anymore. They're going to lose their power, and it's not what they want. They love this behind the scenes action. She's also a truth sayer. She can, if you speak a lie in front of her, she'll know it.
Okay.
So yeah,
she's a real bitch.
Yes. Well, she kind of has to be. Like she's pissed off that like she's pissed off that their ultimate plans that they've done for centuries have been undone by her student. Jessica's her student. So Jessica's been personally trained by her.
Yeah, Jessica is supposed to take her place eventually, on a far enough line, right?
Okay,
that was kind of my reading.
Okay,
like she was the heir apparent to her.
I took it as she is supposed to be with the Duke, and this is like the last step to get to the Kwisatz Haderach.
Okay,
so that's why she is so important.
Yeah, because they want Paul to work for them.
Well, they don't want Paul. They want a female.
Okay,
they want a female child, and now that they're stuck with a male child, they're like, okay, now we need the male. But now she's already crossed them. She has gone against centuries of intrinsic breeding. So like, okay, well, you made a male child. Now at least can you make a female child? But now there's also this whole thing going on in Arrakis, and it's like, oh, it's gumming up the works.
So later, Jessica will be pregnant. She picked to have a girl. She could have had a boy then if she wanted.
I think she picked to have a boy.
Okay.
Like, it seems to me the Bene Gesserit do have like ultimate body control, but it seemed that like almost like she didn't want to, but she did. She wanted to please the Duke. She really loved the Duke.
Well, I'm talking about her next child without the Duke. Or it is the Duke's, the second child.
Yes. Alia or Aaliyah. I think, yeah, she was like, he wanted a boy so bad, and I gave him a boy first, and now I'm going to give him a girl, and nothing's going to happen. And then this fucking egg ship with the guy and all the other cool people show up, and he's like, hey, you got to move.
I wish my wife could have done that. Could have just, let me pick the gender.
Oh, well, maybe which school did she go to?
She didn't get Bene Gesserit training.
So Staten Island doesn't. She's from Staten Island.
No,
right?
She does have the voice though, because she gets me to do a lot of shit I don't want to go to. Like I have to go to a lot of friends' weddings and shit like that.
Brian.
Yeah, that's her voice. Brian.
I just like that Staten Island is the only place that doesn't have Bene Gesserit training, or it does.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, we teach it at primary school.
Oh, that's why you have the Staten Island medium. She's trained in the Bene Gesserit ways. Okay. The visuals in this movie are just so great.
The movie looks awesome. Like it's great looking.
Like it seems to me that this is like kind of like Jodorowsky's vision of grandiose and minus what Lynch was capable of doing in the 80s.
Yeah, Lynch was limited by budget and technology.
Yeah.
And they looked at Star Wars because I think Return of the Jedi is 1980.
Yes.
Or Empire is 80.
Empire is 80, Jedi is 83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were looking at Star Wars and they're like, we got Dune right here.
Yeah.
We're going to put them to shame.
But the difference is Star Wars is so simple. Like, I don't know if you know, when the Lynch version came out, they had handouts that were given to everyone who was watching.
I didn't know they had handouts.
They had handouts to explain things and like pronunciation guides and who is this person? Who is that person? What is this? What is that? Because it's just so out there and it's so involved and deep. And again, it's a book that's this thick. You're trying to condense into a movie.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Have you watched the sci-fi miniseries?
I watched it when it came out. Like I said, that's what got me into. I got to get the books, and I read all three. I begrudgingly read the last two, Dune Messiah and Children of Dune.
Dune Messiah is the second one. The third one is Children of Dune.
Yeah.
And then I think there's two more that Herbert wrote.
Like, yeah, you couldn't do this back then.
No.
This is just awesome.
Look at that. It's coming up it's like fucking Godzilla 2014.
But it makes sense. It's like, if you want to protect something from orbital bombardment, hide it underwater.
Yeah.
Like, it's But then now got to compare this lushness to what we're going to see in Arrakis, where like the most minute, like a waste of water is like so looked down upon. It's I like this, like it's the ancestral burial ground, and like you're leaving it all behind.
It's like the cliffs of Dover. Yeah,
like you've had this. This has been your world.
He may never come back.
Yeah, he may never come back. Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like this movie, just looking at it.
But also, like, they're packing it in crates. It is so.
There's a weird like mix of tactileness with like futuristic stuff. It's kind of like Firefly, where it's like they're still using revolvers and Old West stuff.
Yeah,
but they have full space tech.
And like in the future, like in Star Trek, we just transport it.
Yeah.
But when we get to this other place, we're replicating it. It's just as good as the original. No, here it's like, no, we just got to crate this up, and we're going to put it on a ship, and we're going to put it in a space moving van, and bring it to this other world.
How come they don't do they bring water with them?
No,
I imagine some, right?
I would think they bring some water with them, but they are, because again, they're taking over the Harkonnens. So the Harkonnens had all their stuff in place, and it's very touched upon in the book that like you are so wealthy you don't have to care about water.
Okay,
so like you can walk around your house without a still suit on, and
you're fine.
You're fine. Meanwhile, like everyone else is wearing a still suit so they can reclaim like their freaking sweat.
And how does the still suit work exactly?
Still suit it's a multi-membrane, and there's stuff that's not really, it's barely touched upon. Like you have to wear a catheter when you wear a still suit.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
it's your piss. That's
well, no, like you have to insert a catheter, and you're also reclaiming feces. So like all this stuff is getting processed.
It's recycled.
Yeah, that gets processed in the thigh pads. But I think does Kynes explain the still suit later?
I think they do briefly in this.
Like this is where you're getting touched by it. Like it's
and I love the color palette of the movie starts to change.
Well, every planet has its own color palette.
Well, that's what I love. But they were on like
Hear that, George Lucas?
They were on Caladan, and it had a certain look, and now everything is like that beautiful desert, like Lawrence of Arabia sun.
Like he's trying to like do a quote, and it's out of place.
I guess that's why you think they're Scottish.
You know what? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, like the bagpipes. It seems like they live like on an island. Yeah, like it's all theirs.
There were no bagpipes in the second one.
No, not in the second one. Okay, I thought it was for a second. I thought you were talking about the Lynch version. I want to say there might have been bagpipes in the Lynch version.
There could be in the Lynch one,
or things that sound like bagpipes.
Fucking, it's so good looking.
Oh yeah,
just them walking is cool.
Like the armor looks like armor.
It looks a little Power Ranger-ish to me.
It's the future.
Yeah, I know.
It's the future. You can invent materials that are thin but still like strong and light and everything else like that.
They're boys, him and this Mentat.
Thufir's been giving him Mentat training that unbeknownst to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slowly preparing him.
Yes. But Thufir has served 3 generations of Atreides.
Mm-hmm.
So he is like, it's all about his family. One thing they established in the book is the Atreides love. Whereas the Harkonnens are all about fear and all this stuff, the Atreides just love.
Now, she just said something interesting. She said, Lisan al-Gaib. Now, how would they know to call him that already? Because isn't that the prophet?
Okay, it's...
Because they're all chanting it at him.
It's explained later. It's explained later that the Bene Gesserit, just in case a Bene Gesserit gets trapped on a world, they send out something called the Mishorina Protecta, and they instill certain local legends so that if a Bene Gesserit gets trapped on a planet, they can tap into these local legends and instantly be given safe haven.
Okay.
So part of the Mishorina Protecta.
So if they were trapped in like, let's say England, they would start talking about Robin Hood and shit, maybe.
They would know that they can bring up. They would hear certain things and know how to respond to certain things.
Okay.
So like, top of the morning to you. They would know like top of the morning to you is like the beginning of this chant that is associated with this local legend, or it's associated with like a legend, and they would know the proper response to it, which were like, oh wait, they are one of us. They know of this. They, there's something special about them. These are ornithopters. Cool.
How do you think they're handled here? They're very bug-like.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Okay.
It's supposed to be. They're supposed to be bug-like. A lot of other versions have done like just ships with like VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing technology. This kind of makes the full, almost like what it's in the book. In the book, like the wings can cup, so it seems like they're a little more spread out. But these are just, ultra vibrational. They can still hover. They can dive. They can do all this other stuff.
And this is a good conversation between Paul and Jessica, where she's explaining basically what you just did. Yeah. About that they've been waiting for a Messiah that the Bene Gesserit have told them about for years.
Yes. Again, it's more explained in the. She doesn't really explain the Machirana Productiva to Paul right away, but again, movie, you got to make concessions. It's mentioned in the book that like they can't understand why like they're calling him this, and like the Duke gets worried, and he's like, okay, we've done some research, and it's part of the local legends, and like it's kind of fitting. So they're like, okay, just
go with it. Yeah,
just go with it. Don't feed into it.
Pretend to be their Messiah if they ask, and
pretend to be the emissary, but really don't go full on into the emissary role, and just say, oh, hey, yeah, I'm the emissary.
Yeah, it's me. Whatever,
yeah, Captain Sisko.
We can't leave her.
All right, it's explaining the shield wall.
Now the shield wall. What does it do exactly?
The shield wall is literally a wall. The worms can't go through rocks.
Okay.
So there's certain areas of the planet that
they made a city out of rock.
They dug out the rock and made a city, and you don't have to worry about sandworms. You don't have to worry about anything because they can't come in. So it's almost like if the desert were a sea. Which they kind of address in this, because they always in the book they mention that the desert, like, it's got tidal basins, it's got all this different stuff, and so it kind of is like the sea. The shield wall is like a beach, yeah. But once you go past the shield wall, you're in worm territory.
You're in the ocean.
Yeah,
a worm can get you any second.
Yeah, like a shark. It is pretty much like a giant megalodon. Okay, here we are. Talking about
do you think you could airlift a sandworm to another planet? Like get one and drop it on like the Harkonnens and just have them get eaten by a sandworm?
No, I think it requires sand.
Okay.
Like the graboids and Tremors. Like you can't just drop a graboid like in the middle of New York City and it's gonna be like, hey, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Well, if you grabbed it,
it's just gonna roll around.
So you think it would be more like Free Wilsiac, like when they send the whale to the moon in South Park? It would just lay there and die.
Yeah, like it needs its its environment.
Then what? Oh, they're on Arrakis, right?
Now they're in Arrakis, the like one of the major cities. I want to say it might be the capital city.
Okay,
but yeah, it's Arrakis.
And Paul is supposed to learn about their customs, right? And try to learn about like the Fremen, the natives, I guess.
Well, he did that. He was doing that on Kaladin. He had like that little film book and like explaining like what a still suit is and all this other stuff. So
in the book, they do way more with that. Like there's a lot of like encyclopedia information in the book about the culture as he's learning and reading.
Yeah. Plus there's also, you have all these people who are around the Duke now who have to learn all this stuff. So like, that's like kind of the scene, like, okay, we can't use normal communications because the sand fritzes it. Like the sand just fucks with everything. This planet is just, it's fucking horrible.
It's only good for spice.
Yeah.
It's useless in every other way.
Like this planet was ignored. Nobody wanted it. And then once they found the spice, you know what? It's oil.
Yeah, that's what
nobody wants to go in the desert. There's oil? Okay, we're going. We're all in.
And this is Jessica knows that there's an assassination attempt against her, right?
No, she knows that I think she knows that there's a traitor.
Okay.
And like she's clued in that Shadout is an old I want to say Chigaspa word.
Chitari?
No, Chigob. It's again, it's like one of those things where I'm not sure the pronunciation.
Yeah.
And she's sensing like she's getting this mature and unproductive stuff. Like she knows like there's part of a legend, but she's not quite sure how to play into it. Like how long has this been in effect? And she's not giving her enough information. She's kind of. And so she's like, oh, well, it's a maker. And she wants to say maker of death. And it's a maker's tooth. And she's like, oh my God, you're fulfilling the prophecy. Oh my God, I can't believe it. She's like, okay. Like
She's able to read the situation.
Yeah, the book has so much more mental introspection that is not explained. That was kind of explained.
Well, Lynch tried, because in Lynch, there's all those like facial close-ups with the voiceover.
Yes, the narration that really, really explains this,
which makes that Dune so weird.
It does, but it helps. Like for me, like I said, I was exposed to that first. I understood everything then.
Okay.
Like kind of, isn't there a Blade Runner that does that? There's now a lot of narration at the beginning of a Blade Runner version.
Yeah, there's a version with voiceover at the beginning and a version without, but the camera never pans to Harrison Ford's face and he's like, yeah, I should probably not fuck this replicant.
All right, now I think these are the date palms. Yes, these are the date palms.
Yes, they're like some of the only trees, right?
Well, this is part of the showing. Like the Harkonnens are almost like the Cardassians. They love to show how much power they have.
Okay.
So in order to raise these trees, in order to keep these trees, these are not native to Arrakis. They were put out here. Each of those trees takes the same amount of water per day of 5 people. And there's 20 trees outside. So
it's a point. We could give water to 100 people.
Yes.
But we're using it for these palm trees.
There's 100 of these in the house. And this is in the book. This is done through a scene with Yui and Jessica. He almost gives it away that he's the traitor in the book in this scene. And he passes it off. And like it's again part of explaining how fucked up Arrakis is to anybody else who doesn't understand that. Like people they're hoping for a date to fall even though it's not in season.
Yeah,
because it's water.
Any sort of water would be awesome.
Yeah. Like in the book, like someone spills water and instantly a hawk appears.
Just like, yes.
It's like, hey, there's moisture. It's like, wow, like this is okay. So here we are. We're using
we're learning about the sand walk. Yeah,
this is the hollow tape. I think it's hollow films or hollow tapes.
I would love someone to take a cut of this and insert John Cleese from Monty Python doing the silly walk.
Okay.
Over the
okay, I thought you were going to say Chalamet doing his Wonka dance.
That could work too. Yeah.
So
these trees. Oh, they're just talking.
Oh, so they're introducing
the desert mouse.
Yes, Muad'Dib.
Which obviously comes into play later.
Yes. Oh, something's going on.
Oh, this is that assassination attempt,
yes.
Right?
Now in the book, they made this room the ultimate kid's room. So like if Paul was walking around this room, he'd be like, this is the bedroom I want. Because it's like so cool. Like there's bits of spaceship in it and everything. It's got like a spaceship bed and it's controlled by like spaceship controls. The whole room is. And like this is the room that a 12-year-old's gonna want to be in. And so that's the room he takes.
What's all these magazines under my pillow?
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait 1 year, you're gonna love those.
So this is a hunter seeker. It is and
it's like a slow assassin thing, right?
Because it's so small, it needs a repulsor. And that repulsor field it obscures what it can see. And it's guided. That's the other thing, is it's guided, but it can only be guided from a short distance away. So it's the ultimate assassin's tool because like it's watching you. It's almost like a tow missile.
Yeah, it's gonna try to find you.
Yeah, like it can be guided. Like that's what it's doing now, but it can't really see. It detects movement, almost like a T-Rex. And it's like they say it'll burrow up your arm.
Yeah,
and then explode. So
Paul, by staying still there, he was able to kind of outmaneuver it.
Yes, but it was very like to grab it was a tough choice. And then the shit out Mapes comes in and it draws his attention. He's able to grab it, kill it. Then they realize, okay, there's still more shit to find. That guy who ran it was sealed up in a wall 3 months earlier.
He was pulling like a Bad Ronald. You know Bad Ronald?
No.
It's a movie, a made-for-TV movie in the 70s where this guy, Bad Ronald, lives in like the walls of an apartment building.
Oh, okay.
And like does all sorts of like pervy shit.
Oh, okay.
Parasite for a more modern reference.
Again, I'm not the movie person you are. Now there's fan theories that thing was Dr. Yui's wife.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The spider thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So this is the Cone of Silence. Once you enter the Cone of Silence, you can't be overheard with any kind of electronic.
That's right. Yeah, you're under the radar from everything.
Yeah. This does not. I don't think this happens in the book, but
And who's this egghead dude? Not the Baron.
That is either Peter or Peter de Vries. He is like Thufir. He's like the antithesis, the opposite of Thufir.
He's an evil mentat.
He is a fucking psychotic, evil mentat, and he is heavily addicted to the spice, and he is so dangerous, and he uses his knowledge to kill people. Like he loves torturing people. He loves all this stuff. This was like he was neutered in this movie. I feel, and I love the actor
David Dasmalchian or
sure.
Dasmalchian. Yeah.
I will give you that. From Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man.
Yes, and
Dark Knight.
Ant-Man.
He's in Ant-Man too.
Yeah, he's great, and like
great character actor.
Yeah. Book me wishes he was like he helps the Baron with all these plans. Like he's just smarter than the Baron. The Baron loves mentats.
Yeah, he's his right hand man.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I understand why you can't spend too much time with a character like this in the movie because you're so limited for time.
But like the menace of him is not. It should be portrayed. Like there's scenes when he talks about torturing people, and it's just like I want to like just throw that line in, cut out something and put that line.
One
in.
line, yeah.
Fan service. I think that's the fan service.
That's what you want, a little fan service. Now, I do think that they kind of took a shot at Star Wars in this movie, with Episode 9, because the Baron is on like a crane at times in this. And it very much like that last shot where like he's kind of raised up.
Well, that's because he is so fat. He cannot support his own weight.
I've been there, buddy.
Yeah. So he has suspensors, and he is the suspensors keep him just afloat. Normally just afloat. Like
in the Lynch when he kind of floats.
Yeah. And in the book, they kind of like, he can like turn it on and like, amp it up. But yeah, they're really going deep into that for that.
Yeah, in this, though, I feel like it's more like tactile, like a crane. And it really just reminds me of how Palpatine is in the last Star Wars movie, where he's like attached to the wall, if you remember.
But they kind of show it like there's those things down his back. Those are I just want to say they almost light up Tron-esque.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that is like the suspensors.
Not for nothing. That's a really gay umbrella, right?
I like it.
For a man?
I like it. He's like he is above. Like, I don't care how I look. This makes me comfortable. Look at my bald head. It's burning.
He looks like a dainty, like 19th century woman. Like,
I was gonna say he looks like Michael Jackson. Like when Michael Jackson would go out with the umbrella, he kind of looks like Michael Jackson.
Holding blanket over the edge of the city. Say hi to the sandworm blanket. Oh, that's a reference from 2005.
I know. I feel.
It's 20 years old.
Like I could partly see what he was doing. Like he's a showman. I don't think he saw the danger. He could not imagine any danger. And then it was like afterwards, it's like, oh crap.
A part of him had to be like, thank God this is my biggest scandal at the moment. Not all the evil shit I'm actually doing.
Yeah. You okay? You really believe he was evil?
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I think he was molesting children. I'd say it's pretty evil.
I don't think so.
Oh, you want to go on the record as defending Jacko?
I think he was fucked up enough as a child that he wouldn't willingly fuck up. I think he was all about making children happier. Like he was like he was Make-A-Wish.
You think he was like Santa?
Yeah, like he was like I'm gonna make this child's life great, and he didn't think about like what it looked like. He didn't think about the optics. That's ignorant. Mr.
Jefferson.
So now we're talking about the Fremen. Duncan comes to visit them.
They're saying there's 50,000 of them on the planet.
That's what the Harkonnens estimated.
Okay.
And he's like, no, there's way more than that.
Because the Harkonnens ignored the South, right?
The Harkonnens ignored the South, and
because there's no spice in the South, right? Like it's more rural.
There is spice in the South, but the South it's so far from the shield wall, and there's storms and everything else like that the more you venture out,
why would you go there?
Yeah, why would you go there? But that's where they take sanctuary.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's what they're doing. And the Fremen harvested spice themselves for the guild. To pay off bribes, and it was also a form of payment. So, like, when the crawlers would go to their areas, they get all pissy and, like, shoot. But they didn't want to truly attract attention. Here we go. Harvey Arbinem playing Stilgar.
Stilgar is my favorite character in the books.
Oh, yes.
And I remember I was watching this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had read the book.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was, like, about to end. And I'm like, we're getting all my favorite shit. Like, because the first half of Dune, I really don't like. And to me, it didn't pick up till like Paul is really with the Fremen, and that's when I got into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, here we go, baby. This is my favorite shit. And then the movie ends, and I was like, are you kidding me?
See, like I like to see that spitting is a form. It's a bond of water.
Yeah.
Like you're giving up your moisture for somebody else.
And obviously that's the opposite when you're with an Earth woman, because
swallowing
is the ultimate act of love.
But like it kind of shows the disconnect. And that's why Duncan was needed. Duncan was like, hey, wait. Don't you all be offended. This was meant as a sign of respect.
Yeah, this is like respect this man and his culture.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Stilgar kind of is apprehensive of the new guys in charge almost, you know?
You know what? If it's not you, it's somebody else.
Exactly.
It's this constant churning of, it's this constant churning of new people come in, they take the spice, and
they're not used as slaves or anything.
No. They will work, but they're not really used as slaves. They're considered again almost like Aborigines. They're not smart enough.
Stay out of our way is where mining.
Yeah, but like they're so fiercely independent that they make their own.
What do they eat?
What
the Fremen? Like they hunt animals, I guess.
Yes, they do.
And water, they just have their own water.
Birds and stuff. I seem to remember bird flesh wrapped in like a spice, honey, and paper.
Okay,
is stuff that they eat. So,
Stilgar just came to say what's up, and he's leaving.
In the book, they come upon a Harkonnen courier and kill him and like get like this like vital information, and in the process Duncan saves a guy from being killed. So like there's like a life debt. And so he brings him in. And one criticism that drives me nuts when people like talk about Dune, they'll be like, why is his name Paul? Why is his name Duncan Idaho? And it's like, I think people don't understand this is supposed to be our like current timeline, like 2,000 years in the future or however long, and remnants of Earth culture have survived. And that's why there's names like Paul, Duncan, Idaho. I think it's also like in royalty, there's been the same names over and over and over and over and over again used. It's continued on.
Yeah, but it came from
yes
from our planet Earth.
This is supposed to be, I think, like the year 10,000, and we're like in the year 2000. So,
it's 10,000. Okay,
I think it's 10,000. Some good expositional comments, like from like a little computer. It's like, hey, it's already 120 degrees. It's gonna get to be up like to 200. So watch yourself if you're out there. Like trying to, again, explain how fucking horrid it is out on the desert.
And this is pretty cool. They use almost like hot air balloon technology because they can't really make noise as they're traveling because they'll attract sandworms, right?
I want to say carryalls were described as larger thopters.
Okay.
But this does make more sense. Like
to have it like float?
Yeah. It's still power, but it floats and it can lift all this weight. So it kind of makes sense. Like it's weird that it all of a sudden, like I think it would just pop up all the time, but they're just constantly floating around your field. And like when you need one comes in, it swoops it like a blimp. Like I don't picture a blimp deflates every night, and like they reinflate
Yeah.
it. Like it's just always.
Now, this character in the book, wasn't it a dude?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Kynes. He's the planet imperiologist, but she's also the judge
In
of
this,
change.
the movie, it's a chick.
Yeah. I don't want to mix my pronouns. We're gonna go on.
But
this.
it is a chick, right? Yeah.
This is a chick, but in the book,
Okay.
in the movie, it's a man.
No, in the movie, it's a
I'm
girl.
sorry. In the movie, it's a chick. In the book, it's a man.
Okay.
So this is Kynes, imperial planetologist, imperial servant, but also the judge of change. So this is the person who is supposed to make sure that all proper forms are taken.
And she in this is a Fremen.
Fremen as well, and also in the book.
Okay.
And it's hinted here, like she has a Kynes has a. I'm just gonna say Kynes.
Yeah.
Kynes has a Fremen guard, and
Fremen emissary, basically. This is how you behave on this planet.
no, not necessarily like an emissary. Like it's a
Trainer.
Okay, in the book, there's Kynes has a father, Liet.
Okay.
Ulta Liet, older Liet. And same job, imperial planetologist, but they were totally into the work. Like they love this planet. They are all about being a planetologist. They don't care about this other shit. They care about other shit when it interferes with them. So it's like this is like a bird, like somebody who's all about birds. And like when you're like coming in, like, hey, I want to log this area, be like, no, don't log this area. This got birds. And they're all about so they realize that the Fremen work within the environment.
Okay.
And that's why the Fremen are awesome.
They make it work for them.
They make it work for them. They work with the environment. They don't clash with the environment. They've become used to it. They can help you do things. Like you can't get to the south through normal methods.
Yeah, you can't just like fly there, really. It would be a problem.
But the Fremen can get there. So, you get associated with the Fremen.
You have to work with them if you're going to really achieve anything on the planet.
Yeah.
And I did like that scene. We didn't really talk about it, but I love when like she's like showing them all how to dress and Paula Ray knows how to wear the suit and everything.
Yes.
And she's like
they will
reciting the prophecy.
Yeah, they will know your ways as if they were born to them.
And it's like she's like kind of, he may be, the one.
But she doesn't want to believe it. Kynes doesn't want to believe it. Kynes used to legend. It's worked for Kynes. Working with the legend, but Kynes doesn't want to admit to this legend. Kynes is told by the Emperor to ignore what's going on in Arrakis.
Yeah.
Like, let the Atreides fuck up, let everything happen, but don't report it to anybody because that's just the way we want things to go. Like, turn a blind eye.
Basically, we're trying to set them up to fail.
Yeah. And the Atreides are trying to befriend Kynes, and Kynes is like, I don't fucking care. You're going to be... You're going to
be gone eventually.
Yeah, and then when the Harkonnens, whoever comes back, I'm going to deal with them. And as long as I'm with the Emperor, I'm fine.
Yeah, look, I'm just trying to get by. Whoever I'm working with doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care what I wear the Imperial uniform. I don't wear your uniform. I'm protected by them. Oh, it's just
it looks so good, man.
Great.
What do you think of the design of the sandworms in this?
I'm a little... It's the teeth.
You don't like the teeth?
I don't like the long frickin' teeth. Because the Chris knife is supposed to be a tooth of a sandworm. Which makes it seem like it should be something that's rare.
Giant, yeah.
No, it's rare.
Okay.
So like the sandworm maybe have like a couple hundred teeth in their mouth.
Uh-huh.
And like they're like sharks. They lose them and they eat them and they grow.
Things happen, yeah.
But when your tooth is like
6-7 feet to
like,
be
like 100 foot
yeah.
long. Like, well, you'll see when it attacks a sandworm. It's like they're like 100 foot long. So it's like I can make a lot of knives out of these. It just doesn't.
It makes it too common for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a little too whaley bellini. Look, I do love my sandworm popcorn bucket. We've had many special nights together
already. It's been like 2 nights.
Wow, sometimes we
feels like a marriage. Well, it's already a lifetime. Do you think when they were writing Tremors and they were coming up with the graboids, they had to be aware of Dune, right? And so did Tim Burton when he did Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. And they're even called sandworms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they were.
And we do have sandworms on Earth.
Are you talking about the Mongolian deathworms or whatever they are?
No, they're really small. At least we always called them sandworms. My father used to make me go fishing with him.
Okay.
And
they got teeth too.
Yeah, they have teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like these are just giant ones of that almost.
It makes sense in that like you're in a desert environment. There's got to be an apex predator. So it's got to be something, whatever your medium is, it's got to be like the largest.
I don't have a problem with that.
It makes total sense. It's not like it doesn't make total sense, and it works. I've always been, like I said, they should just have smaller teeth. That's my only.
That's your thing.
That's my only complaint. I don't like the baleen look.
Other than that, I mean, they look pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's like when you have length, it seems like it's going to be like fragile. So versus a shorter teeth, like sharks don't have like 3 feet long teeth. They have very, very short teeth that does the job they're supposed to do. To have these long teeth just seems like they would snap. Versus whales have baleen because they're just screening krill and stuff.
I would imagine too, the sandworms probably don't get much of a chance to eat things that probably aren't sandworms because most of the things have adapted to the desert, I would imagine.
Well, there's things like sand plankton. Again, it's I don't know if I said this yet. The desert in this movie is
that's you getting a little drunk. The desert.
Yeah, the desert is a very big sea analogy here. So there's plankton. There's others. Okay, now in the book, the carryall never shows up. Now here's the problem in that there's a carryall. It's a giant ship that can float away.
Okay.
So why do you need these people to land and rescue people? Just have the carryall land. Everyone runs onto the carryall. Because how do they get onto the carryall at the base?
I see what you're saying.
It creates by having the carryall not show up, now it creates tension. Like there's no other way to get these people off. But here you have a floating ship that could technically get the people off.
Yeah, they could all just jump on.
Yeah. But and then like now in the book, there's not enough thopters and spotters to take the people off. So like the Duke is like, he's like, damn the spice. We got to rescue these people. I will not have these people die. And he's like, okay, this ship can carry 5 people. And they already have 4 on it, including his son. He's like, okay, fuck it. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. We can fit 2 more people on here. We can get all these people off.
He's being a hero. They're trying to build up that the Atreides are the good guys almost.
They're not being a hero necessarily, just saving life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the heroic thing to do,
you
know? Because it would be easy for someone cold like the Harkonnens to be like, well, sucks for them. They shouldn't have died.
Exactly, yeah. We'll take the loss of life and we'll take the loss of spice. Well, it's just flying off. They could have just landed there and went, hey, we're going to hop on.
Just wait one second.
That little pod could have went over there and landed on that thing. And the balloon's not out, so there's room.
You could make it work. It is a stupid thing. I do agree.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, too?
Like, that's what it is. There's no tension now.
The movie's been going on for like an hour. They're like, we really need to get some sort of like action scene.
But again, just don't have the carryall show up. Because that's what happens in the book. Like, where's the carryall? We can't find the carryall. Oh, it should be around. And he's pissed off. He's like, why isn't there another one? And like, they're like, well, we don't have the equipment. Well, why don't we have the equipment? And like, he's trying to impart to Kynes that like, look how they're setting us up to fail. Doesn't realize that Kynes has been told to ignore
that is a part of the book. I do remember that now you're saying it. You sparked a memory.
Yeah. And like the Duke is like at the beginning, he's like, everyone's going to have these transmitters. You hit this transmitter and a special rescue service will come out if you're ever lost. And Kynes is like, yeah, you don't understand. My planet fucks with you.
Yeah.
And, there's no safety.
And now Paul is starting to hear voices and he's getting high almost.
Because, there's, this does kind of happen in the book. When the door opens, he's exposed to the spice, raw spice. It's not been processed. It's raw spice. He's inhaling it. And it's really fucking, and he's taken by it.
Could you imagine if like we had like, I'm trying to think like magic mushroom spores throughout like the planet, just getting people like high at times.
Isn't it almost like M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Signs?
No, the one with the trees.
Oh, The Happening.
Happening, yeah.
Well, that's making people kill themselves.
Well, it's the same difference. It's affecting their minds. Like, like if there was a forest, like you walked in it, you'd be like fucking high.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to live in that area.
That would could you imagine like the tourism money you would make?
That's what I'm saying. Like you figure out exactly what's it going to do to people and just anticipate for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to make you hungry?
Yeah,
Come on
boom,
in.
Yeah. Here's my restaurant. Special on mushrooms. Oh, this is great.
I love the scale here.
The scale is great, but also like,
it just looks so fucking cool.
Like there's a pressure wave and like things are vibrating and like sand, you start sinking in it.
Yeah, because that is kind of how you could make quicksand. You could do it with vibrations. Have you ever seen those science videos where they'll take a bunch of sand
and put the air underneath it
and put air underneath it and it moves like water?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's exactly what I picture a rock, because they in the book, the book really over delves into like there's a glossary in the back and appendices, and that's where they delve like into like tidal basins.
Oh, really? In the book they have that?
Yeah.
See,
well, there's also different kinds of sand. There's like pea sand, there's drum sand, there's this sand, there's that sand.
Sand in your vagina.
Yeah. Like oh, these teeth. That's a lot of Chris knives. They don't seem as special then. Just my opinion.
I could see what you're saying. But maybe let's play canon. Maybe only some teeth are good enough to be
I guess.
If we want to. That is erotic looking, right?
Yeah. like in the book it's no, not in the book. I think Lynch's movies it's only 3. Like 3 fleshy
Oh, it's 3-pronged?
clothes, yeah. And I think also as well as Tremors? It's
Tremors.
3? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the graboid teeth.
No, like the mouth part.
Oh, okay.
Because it makes sense that they're digging through, and here we go.
Yeah.
Here's them saying everything left us in shambles. We've been set up to fail.
It's like no shit.
It was old.
Yeah.
It was meant to die. Yeah.
Yeah, the desert got it. It happens.
Yeah, that just happens. Well, yeah, I understand. Yeah, well. I'm not here to take your part. Yeah, just learn. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. Don't try to make me your friend.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm here to do my job.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about you, Atreides, the Harkonnen, whatever.
But in the book, that's the turning point. Like the book is you cared more about the people than the spice. And I think there's even a line like, I kind of like this Duke.
Yeah, Kynes starts to come around. I do remember this.
Yeah. And then it's solidified in a scene that's not in anything, so I can bring it up now. My favorite scene, the dinner scene.
Okay.
And it's a great scene. And that's when like Kynes really like starts throwing their lot in with the Atreides, because it's great, because like they start to admire them, like they start seeing past what they're told to ignore and be like, hey, you know what, these like they're not so bad, because there's part of the Fenrigs had this before, I think the Harkonnens. So in this house there's this conservatory of plants.
Okay.
It's got special filter.
Like a greenhouse.
It's a greenhouse, but it got special filter glass. So like all this stuff could be, and everyone knows about this, and they fucking hate it, because it's like there's 1,000 of us in that fucking conservatory, and like Jessica makes this like remark of when Arrakis is available to host these lives of plants. Yeah, we'll that's what we're going to open, like this. That's what it's meant for. It's meant for this is to like start. Once Arrakis like starts to bloom, we can put these things out there. And fucking Kynes is like, oh my God, like I'm so hard for you right now.
Yeah.
But not in that kind of way.
And Paul's dreaming of Zendaya, like Tom Holland.
Yes. Chani,
that's her name. They should have just named her Zendaya, because it does sound like that could be
it's gotta be Chani. Who is Chani in Lynch's version?
I don't know, but she loves Joni.
Johnny loves Chani. Oh God, only Walt got that joke. Who was it? It was a really hot girl. Sean Penn? No, not Sean Penn. Sean Young?
I only saw the Lynch one once, so I can't tell you who was who. I only know Patrick Stewart, Sting, and Kyle MacLachlan.
No, okay.
And Paul
was Christopher Lee in it?
Christopher Lee.
Was Christopher Lee in it?
Count Dooku?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I get all these British actors confused.
All Brits look alike.
Yeah, they do. Like, this is weird.
Do you ever have dreams like this? Like fucked up, like dreams of people killing you?
Oh, well. Yeah, it's people from Reddit trying to kill me.
When you look at the TSD Reddit?
Yeah. No, I don't. I used to take a drug, not a drug, medication called
Spice?
Yeah. No, it was called Well, Beatrice.
Okay.
And that gave me fucked up dreams. Like, it was part of the thing I hated about it was like, it gave me like these weird fucked up dreams. Like, very vivid. And then like, you look through the fucking, 10-page thing. It's like, may cause vivid dreams. Okay. That's
that makes
what it
sense.
was. Yeah.
Steve claims that he has dreamt visions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like he's dreamt of plane crashes and then they happen.
Wow.
And, he's dreamt of like escaped convicts. I'm wondering, do you think Steve might be?
Is
that Sadrak? Yeah.
I don't know. How about lucid? I've always wanted to lucid dream. Like, I've barely had it. Like, I know I'm dreaming, but then I can't affect the dream.
Oh, to change it?
Because like I'll be in a dream and here's my problem. They're draining blood from people in a rainy environment and they're scooping it up and it's like fucking paint. Like, no, it should be diluted.
Yeah, it would be watered down.
It's just a great scene. Other than that, you don't need the rain. Like,
and what is the purpose of them doing this? Is it just to like bathe the Baron?
No. They're killing these people, draining their blood, and then they're marking the solder card before they go off into battle.
Oh, okay.
Solus Secundus is the Emperor's original planet. It is supposed to be a hell planet. It is a prison planet. It is where they send the worst of the worst, but it's also the home of the Imperial Sardaukar, which is their army.
That's the Emperor's army.
The Emperor's army, which is the ultimate army. That's what everyone fears.
And they're from the Hell Planet.
Solus Secundus.
Okay.
Please don't get me on pronunciation. I'm not that good at it sometimes. Just like villainy.
Yeah.
She's fucking crying.
You're also drinking.
Yeah.
How many natties are you
I'm
in?
1.5 in.
1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she's weepy.
You don't like that from Jessica.
No. Like, she's supposed to be strong.
Well, she is strong. She broke down alone, That's the way all women should be. Keep your emotions to yourself, and then when you're around us, you just mellow out.
Again, like, I kind of understand it. You can't have her be the ultimate powerful character that she should be, because then people, the toxic masculinity of puts down Madame Web will say that she's a Mary Sue, but that's what she is. You're just being loyal to the book.
Next time we do this, we'll do it for Madame Web, right?
I don't even want to go ahead and see that. Like, I just don't want to walk into a disaster.
I want to see it so bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's going to be bad, but I still want to see it. Now, he was just like staring at a wall of almost hieroglyphics.
Well, yeah, he's in deep contemplation because everything's going fucking on now.
Do you think he knows he's about to die?
I don't. There's signs that there's a big, huge thing in the book of they try to take the life of my son.
Uh-huh.
Like, he is just, for an entire chapter, like, he'll be in a conversation and he'll be like, they tried to take the life of my son. Yeah. And like at the end, it's like all caps.
In my palace,
yes,
where my son sleeps, where he goes to play with his toys.
Yes, like, it's like that is how like offended he is. And like he knows that there's in order to deflect suspicion from Yui, again, plans within plans. They've made it seem that the Lady Jessica is like not to be trusted. So like,
they're trying to get Paul to doubt his wife.
Look,
not
Leto,
Paul,
Leto.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're just trying to draw attention away from everybody else from thinking that it's Yui, because Yui has the imperial condition. Imperial condition cannot be broken. It's an amazing like that. He has doubts, but like she assuages his doubts. Like that he's like, you know what? No, I'm wrong to even think it. And he goes later and explains it to Paul. He calls Paul like a special meeting. He's like, look, he goes, we have to go with these suspicions. It works. It's working for us. But if anything ever happens, tell your mom I didn't suspect her at all. Like, even Duncan, Thufir, they all think that she is possibly the one. Like, they didn't do enough.
Yeah, in the book, it's a big thing to find out who the traitor is.
No. Okay, I thought
it's hinted at.
No, I thought Yui was like brought out like when he's having his discussion with Jessica.
Really? I might be wrong. You've read it more than me. I read it once.
Like in the Lynch movie, like he's going through like doing an autopsy of like Harkonnens, and he finds like the fucking thing hidden in like the chest. I thought that scene was very Total Recall, 90s Total Recall-esque, like with these massive, just giant blocks. This scene was Lady Jessica's scene. Like he's busy all around the planet. Like he doesn't get to come home every night. That's part of the problem. And like she's looking out like over the city and sees these blinks, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that's something going on." But there's not enough of him. There's not enough of them for her to be able to decipher them.
They're making a noise. The blinks. Do 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 do.
Wait, why is my toys moving over there?
Yeah.
Is this yes?
What?
I'm trying to remember the character that this is. Like now he's realizing they have little transceivers hidden
in like their head,
and like or like under their right ear.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like now he's calling for security. He never turns his shield on in the book. Like he's taken by surprise, and by the time he realizes to activate his shield,
late. Yeah,
it's too late. Like
that's what I remember.
Yeah. Here's the shout out, Mapes. And she's like, "Oh, something's going on."
You're fucked.
I can't remember who plays her in the Lynch movie. This is a slow start.
That's right. This is like one of the only projectiles that can go through the shield.
The shield, yeah. Which they had to do because you can't. I don't know why he couldn't explain that he had to. He was too late to hit his like in the book. Like he whirls around and he's just about to activate his shield and he feels the pain and he's down.
Because I guess people would be like, why doesn't he just always have the shield on? You know?
They explain that in the earlier scene. You can't have a shield. Well, you can't have a shield on outside the wall because it attracts the worms.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're in the walls.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So now this is the battle scene.
Chaos.
Yeah, this is your visual or
this is spectacle.
This is your visual orgy.
This is why you're seeing it in IMAX.
Yeah. Like this would be great if we had the lights off. Like,
oh yeah,
because it's so dark, but it's so great. Not in the book, but I do love it. I love it. I
remember when I saw this in IMAX for the first time, I was like, "Oh man,
yeah." Like I don't care, it's not in the book. It is great.
You're like, this is fine.
Yeah, this explains like the house defenses are down, the shields are down. They've been sabotaged from the inside, and once you're sabotaged from the inside, no matter what you do, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like the house, like the ears, you got your slow.
So you
torpedoes.
like all this, even though it's not in the book?
I do like this, even though it's not in the book. Because it's just,
that cool looking.
Oh, yeah. Like it makes sense. Like, okay, we got, now that, he took down the defenses.
Yeah.
And so now that you realize something's going on, now you're sending crews out to now take over these defenses. Yui was able to do it as one man. Yui as one man inside the shield wall was able to like, I got to deactivate this and this. So maybe like 2 or 3 spots. Totally able to do because he's a doctor. He's got access to these like fucking
and it's easy to flip switches. Anybody could do that.
Yeah, flip switches. Put a you don't even have an explosive light. Just turn things off. So now people are trying to turn things back on, but you can't turn things back on right away because now they had the first strike, and their first strike takes out the things that you want to turn on. The ships you can't, but they're trying to get into the ships. And now here comes your landing party. So you started with your orbital bombardment. Now you got your landing parties. God, fucking great.
And Josh Brolin is fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah. Look at him.
Now, Yui, the reason he betrays them, they never really say it.
They do.
They do say why. They have his wife, right?
Yes. And it's described in the scene I said earlier where he's talking with Jessica about the palms. He just says they killed my Wana. His wife's name is Wana, Wana.
Okay.
I always take it as Wana. Maybe it's Vana. I don't know.
I want to get off this planet.
Get me off here with your smuggler friends.
It's so badass.
Oh, and the people watching, they got the fucking bagpipes, which is great. Again, only I'm up in the air. If there had been battle pugs, like, is that too much of a fan servicey callback? Like, where you just like smack your head, like it happens in Star Wars all the time.
I think people would just be like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, but I think I kind of.
This movie is so grim.
Yeah, I kind of would have liked little battle pug,
It would be funny.
It is like almost Romanesque.
Yeah,
we got these battle formations and everything else like that.
And
now they're taking it on the fucking front and they're kicking ass, and then fucking behind them, here come in the solder car with their I don't know if they call them repulsors.
It might be.
Descent. I'm vague. It's barely brought up in the book.
What I love is that you almost are forced to have old school like war tactics because you don't have projectiles really.
What?
You know?
Okay. Now,
Well, you don't have guns. You can't have like armed infantry.
no, there
really.
is las guns, and this is explained in the dinner scene, and it's never explained. I don't think it's ever explained in the movie, and it's a disservice, which it is confusing. You have shields. You have shields and you have las guns. Las guns, las guns. It's Lasgun. I don't know like how to pronounce it. Everyone pronounces it the wrong way. If a las gun beam intersects a shield, it creates subatomic fusion.
Okay.
But now the result is unpredictable. It could just kill. It kills both parties. Guaranteed, it kills both parties. It kills whoever has shielded, whoever fires the las gun. But it could also be it just kills them, or it destroys an entire fucking like town or city. Like it is so unpredictable, and it's so close to like a nuclear weapon.
Okay.
So like you don't want it to happen because like it could be again both sides blow up that way.
It could fuck everything up.
Yeah, you hit the guy with the shield, he just dies, but your side like has a citywide explosion. Yeah. So again, it's not explained, and that's why in any kind of shield, even a personal shield, you don't want las guns around. So you have to deal with like you have to deal with knives. It's a person on person thing, which I think is great. It brings it. It's more close than like a Star Wars-esque. We have blasters and we can hit him from afar. So now Paul,
he's sleeping.
He
slept through the entire war.
Paul was knocked out by the
the pill.
Huey gave him and Jessica a pill. Duke didn't take his. Again, screws everything up. What's it? I'm not blanking on his name.
Dave Bautista.
He is. If you told me a Beast Raban, I think he's better than whoever we had in the Lynch version.
Yeah,
like he is just. He has that rage. He has that everything else going on.
He's a complete fuck up too.
Yeah. No, he's not a fuck up. He is in the book. He's called a tank brain. All he knows is oppression.
Okay.
So Fayed is his brother.
Played by Sting in the Lynch version.
Played by Sting in the Lynch version. Is
Austin Butler in the new one.
He is like Paul. He is supposed to be almost a Paul.
Okay.
Like he is very finessed. He is, he likes the poisons. He likes all this other stuff. He is smarter. He is constantly trying to kill the Duke. I'm sorry. He's not. He's constantly trying to kill the Baron.
I thought Fayed is.
Fayed, yeah.
Yeah.
But Bautista is just, he just wants to, I want to like reach into people's heads.
And smash them.
And like puncture their, like, what is it? Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Like when the mountain grabs the sand guy, you're like that is fucking the Beast Raban. Again, the whip that, leaves permanent, like 30 years later, you're still like, it hurts. Yeah. All right, so we're in the Thopter.
Yes.
So
they're taken.
Yeah, they're taken.
Liam Neeson style.
Peter DeVries plans this. So again, very, very smart. So they know she's Bene Gesserit and she has this voice. He knows about the voice. So they have her gagged. They also have a deaf guy there who can't be taken by the voice. But they don't consider Paul a threat. So they don't. They just bind him up. Everybody was knocked. They knew exactly how long they were supposed to be knocked out by Huey. So
Paul has never used the voice.
Yeah, and Peter is given a choice. He can either have Jessica or he can have Arrakis. And the Duke is because the Baron. The Baron likes fucking with people, and he wants to hold it over Piter. He's like, hey, I know you wanted to lay Jessica, but you can either have Lady Jessica or you can have Arrakis. And he's like, oh, fuck, I want Arrakis more than I want this woman. So like, okay. So they don't want to kill them outright directly because they may come in front of the Emperor and have the truth-sayer, and they can't say they killed them. So what they do is they give them to somebody to put them out in the desert. So like they can have plausible deniability that I did not directly cause their death, and I just set them out in the desert, and anything that happened to them after we set out in the desert, not my fault.
They'll just die in the desert.
My hands are clean. No out damn spot. Here we kind of have a shield.
I love Momoa escaping.
But now like they don't explain. That's where the shield gets knocked out, which is why in subsequent now we have las guns. Because otherwise that las gun, if it hit that Thopter with the shield, would have killed that Thopter. that ship or possibly more.
It could do anything.
Yeah, but you're at least going to kill that giant ship, which you don't want to kill the giant ship. But it could also, again, blow up that giant ship, which blows up the other ships that are next to it. They really kind of fucked up on the shields in this movie, I feel. Which, it's kind of a disservice, but it's a cool action sequence.
They look cool.
It does look cool. The Thopters look fucking cool. I bought 2 of these Thopters, the Lego version.
Oh, they have Lego Thopters?
Oh, they're fucking great. I've only opened up one of them yet. Haven't put it together, but again, great scene. Taking back, we're taking back over again.
This is like when the Cardassians took DS9.
The Kardashians or the Cardassians?
Cardassians.
Okay,
isn't that what I said?
I thought you said Kardashians.
Maybe I did.
Which is a great, it's just a great image. So now they're bringing you.
We're going to take pictures in here, Cisco. There's nothing you could do, bitch.
Have you seen my sex tape with Kira?
It's in the hollow suite, Quark.
Have you ever watched the Kardashians?
No, this is just my
Okay, I didn't know, maybe if your wife was totally into the Kardashians and you had to hate watch it.
No, my wife doesn't like that shit. Thank God.
Yeah.
My wife loves all the murder shows 2020 and shit like that.
That doesn't worry
Which
you?
scares me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that should worry you.
I am. I always say I think you're secretly planning my murder. If anything happens to me, yeah, I want it out there.
I do love the Atreides hand language.
Yes.
It's used, and I love it. It speaks to people that are so fucking worried, they have special hand language that nobody else can see, just in case we need to use it, just in case, but we're gonna have it. Here they're explaining the voice.
Yeah, he has to find the right pitch to hit the primal level.
Yeah, and he tries and he gets smacked.
He doesn't use it again, really.
Oh, yes, he does. He uses it in the tent.
In the second one?
No, in this one.
In this one. He doesn't use it in the second one, I don't think, though, does he? Oh, he does in one scene at the end, I think. He tells everybody to shut up.
He does, but he also uses it in one of the grand scenes, and they don't address it that he's using it. Again, it's where you're changing things, because because the Fremen their backstory is so rich. They have a natural immunity to the voice almost. You have to get it perfect. If you're playing D&D, you got to roll a natural 20 or a 19 or an 18
to get it
for it to work. Otherwise, they're no. Something's fucking going on, and then they go get all agitated.
We're on spice all day.
Yeah. Well, no. They're people, again, in the book, they have telepathy.
Okay.
But they're afraid of it. And they don't embrace
the Fremen.
It. Yes, the Fremen. Oh. The Fremen have telepathy. They don't embrace it. They only embrace it at certain times.
Okay.
And it's when they let themselves completely loose. But otherwise they're afraid of it. It's witchery to them. And it's like that which we don't know, that which we do not talk about. But we do sometimes.
What would you do if you had the voice?
Again, it's
no, you yourself get them.
Again, we're gonna go back to, you can't use it all the time. Because then everybody knows that you're using it. And everyone's going to be wary about you. You just have to use it occasionally. Well,
I would once, a year, I'd go to, AC, and I'd, play poker, and I'd be fold.
Well, okay. But you can't guarantee. They would have to have, a 20. Or they'd have to have literal blackjack, and then,
No, not blackjack, poker.
I never played poker.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I don't think can a dealer just fold out of nowhere?
Well, you don't play the dealer in poker.
Okay,
you play other people.
Okay, I'm thinking blackjack where you hold.
Oh, yeah,
because I'd be take a hit. And they'd be 22. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they have to stop at a certain amount.
In blackjack?
In blackjack.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's when I'd hit.
Oh, yeah.
You have a natural blackjack, hit.
No, it doesn't matter because usually at 17 they have to stop hitting.
I thought it was 15. Okay.
Yeah. Usually it's 17.
Yeah.
But
the rules have changed since I learned about it.
But I would, I'd play poker and I'd win every hand for a night and then walk away.
Okay, weird story no one's going to love. I used to work in Toms River. Right on the corner from Toms River, there was a blackjack school. And I had a guy who used to come in at late at night, and he was a blackjack dealer, and he had like silk shirts with like the designs on it. And God, I'm like, I would love to go to his table. Like it was like he was into it, and I'm like, he was the guy I would want to go to. He was like, what's his name in fucking Vegas Vacation?
Okay, yeah.
Again, very close to the book. The Baron wants to gloat over fucking the Duke, so he's got him fucking naked. Like his clothes have been as the Sardaukar find him and stuff. They start taking battle trophies off him. Like they're ripping off insignias and shit.
We took the Atreides king.
Yeah, but they're
Basically.
like, I have this fucking patch. Like this is a patch from the fucking Red Duke, and this is mine.
And I love this. We didn't talk about, but Yui gave him like
the tooth.
And if he does this at the right moment, he'll be able to kill the Baron.
Yes, that's his. He knows Wanna's dead, or he knows Wanna is ungettable. But he wants to at least make sure that she's savable. Like she's dead.
Yeah.
And like that's where his only deliver my wife from her agony. And like he misinterprets exactly what, again, the Baron said a specific thing. Like, I will let you join your wife.
Yes.
And like, what does that mean? But that's the agreement he made. So he gives the Duke got a tooth knocked out as a kid. Got it replaced with another fake tooth. So now he replaced that tooth with the tooth that has poison gas in it. Bite down, expose, expel it, and you'll kill everyone like close by you. And then you'll kill the Duke. And in exchange for this, he saves Paul and he gives him the ducal signet ring.
It's like, yeah, look, maybe you could kind of get some revenge on the Baron.
Yeah.
And, you could, take a bastard with you and your kid will go to the desert.
Yeah. Well, he provided, like they showed, like he provided the Frem kit and everything else like that. Yeah, I just had a root canal and they're going to put a crown in. I've been thinking about asking if I could get a
poison gas tooth?
A poison gas tooth or something like that.
Do you have someone in mind that you would be like, I'm going to use it on this motherfucker?
I don't know, just in case. Like,
yeah.
I read a book where someone had a poison tooth and I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I could do that.
It's classic spy stuff, cyanide capsule in the tooth.
Like the book I'm reading, they're like, well, like, aren't you scared that like you're gonna like chew it like on a caraway seed or something is gonna crack? I was like, no, I have to move something in a certain way, and then it happens. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I have to hit a specific switch. And...
I do want to ask my dentist though and see what his reaction is.
Yeah. Imagine he's like, oh yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, we got that. It's only an extra $200. I'm like, $200. You know what? It's not that bad. I'm already spending $2,000
for that level.
Yeah. So now he's activated his shield.
Yeah, he's trying to get him close.
Yeah, he's trying to get him close. We're gonna cut back
and forth.
I'm gonna reveal in the book. It's the Baron is pushing away, and Piter comes closer, but he's so drugged up and fucked up that he thinks it's the Baron, and the Baron at that point he's already pushing away, and the Baron he's constantly getting attempted to be killed by Fayed. So like he is, and he's just ultra paranoid. So like he has like the best of the best of the best shields. So in the book, he manages to get out of the room, closes the door, and everyone else is dead inside, and he's not affected. But he got worried.
He gets really fucked up though.
No, in the book. No, he does not. No, he does not. No, he does not.
Okay.
He's like I had the shield turned up to almost maximum. The exchange was very slow. I got out of the room and he gets away. This is where I have a problem with the movie, and that he like almost dies, which I guess makes sense because now they want to have like all this fucking. He's got to have the black bath.
Well, it adds to the grotesqueness that he's gonna have.
Yeah, like I don't know why does he have the fucking ball with the fucking Metroid ball?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because it's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of this is because it's cool.
So here we have Kynes dressed in black for some reason. I guess maybe it's morning.
That's not what I would want to wear in the desert.
Yeah, but maybe it's like this is her Kynes' imperial clothing. No, like maybe it's her.
Well, she didn't fuck up. She did nothing.
Well, wrong by omission.
Yeah,
but like maybe like the black is. I don't know. It's just not in the book. It's a scene. my problem in movies is I understand you can't put everything in, but then you throw these extra scenes in which don't mean anything.
Well, you want to put your own spin on things to get to the same end point if you can.
Like Harry Potter, like they in Harry Potter Marauders Map, is that 3?
Marauders Map, I think that's the 3rd book.
Yeah. They neglect stuff about the Marauders Map, but they put the scene in where they're eating candy and like making like monkey noises and train noises. And it's like, well, can't you just cut that like minute out and then add in a scene where like you just throw some exposition about the map?
They want to show the kids being kids for a second.
I don't care. This kind of reminds me of
and Yui's dead, not Yui.
Yui was killed by
Yui was killed.
Yeah,
but David Desmalchin is dead.
Piter's dead. Everybody in the room is dead. Well, in this scene, they think everybody in the room is dead, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, because if you haven't read it, you're going to be like, wait, the Baron. Like, is he dead?
And like, I don't understand like why they're like, it just it doesn't make sense.
The attack on my life by the Atreides
has left me scarred.
Yeah.
All right, so now they've escaped. In the book, Yui left them with everything they needed. So they have Frem kits and they have still
lights.
Yeah, the Frem kits contain the lights, the sand compactors, paracompass, maker hooks, thumpers. They give you like a list and then a book of what all the stuff does.
How does a thumper actually help you? Because it just makes a giant worm come.
Well, if you're a Fremen, then that actually works.
Well,
but
yeah.
In the book, it's also used at a point in time to distract the worm.
Okay.
So in the book, they use a candle to set the thumper on delay. But in the movie, it looks like there's like a dial you could set a delay into the thumper. Which just like I kind of like it a little better. So like I'm going to run this way. You set the thumper over here, and in the book he sets the thumper in a rock hollow. So like the worm
echoes.
The worm really can't get to it. So it's just kind of like piss off the worm, and it's going to keep them from going after you.
And this is a battle that's going on inside Paul's head, right?
Yes, this is the jihad he sees ahead, but he's not quite sure. He's trying to in the book. In the book, he's constantly. I think Lady Jessica says something to him. She quotes something from the OC Bible.
The OC, like
Orange Catholic Bible.
Adam Brody.
No, Orange Catholic. Oh, I wish it.
What's Orange
California? The Orange Catholic Bible it has a lot of traditional Bible.
Is that a real thing or
yes,
no?
Yes, it's the OC Bible. Orange Catholic Bible. Like Yui gives him like a little like a film thing of it, and so he can like read through the Bible.
But that's a real thing in
the Dune universe,
but not our world.
It's our Bible is part of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So like there's bits and pieces in it, and like she quotes something and it unlocks something in his head, and it keeps with the spice and everything else like that. Like he keeps leveling up, and it's getting more and more fucked up. Like he is like expanding, like he is reaching out further and further. He's seeing possible futures. He's seeing futures where he dies. He sees futures where he succumbs. There's other stuff he can't see. Like there's like a gray area. So like he's like calling for help, and she can't help him. She has no clue what the fuck is going on with him.
Yeah, because it's all in his head.
Yeah. But she could see his fear. Like she could see his fear. And he's like, you made me a freak. You shouldn't have done this to me. Why did you make a male heir when you shouldn't have? He's calling out all this stuff, but then he's also seeing things like, are we okay to spoil
Dune 2? Maybe we shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's seeing things about the Bene Gesserit that she's never told him, that she's aware of, but she's never told him, like about their breeding program and all this other stuff. And he's seeing stuff that even has been hidden from her. And like, you did this to me.
And he used a voice on her for a second.
Yeah. And she realizes, I don't know if she realizes he has the great control yet, but she realizes he has, like, again, almost like when Rey bonded with Kylo and learned some shit about the Jedi and was able to use it later on. Like now he's ascending these levels, and she's not expecting it, because it's like, I taught my child to do this, this, and this, and now all of a sudden, like if Alice all of a sudden just started playing the cello. I
am gonna be rich. I'm a showbiz parent now.
But I'd be like, I think you'd be like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Or she like started telling stuff like stories about you when you were a kid. Like,
Oh, that'd be fucked up.
like remember that time you did something at Applebee's? You'd be like, how do you know about this? Like, yeah. So
wait, I told that story on Reviewing History, and I play it for you so you go to sleep, so someone actually listens.
oh, you do?
No, but
Oh, okay, well, that's a great idea. Like I don't have to be in the room. She could just hear my voice.
Yeah.
Stephen Anthony's. And yeah,
hear all the bad things your father has done throughout his life.
So they try to show this is a still tent. So still tent, you don't have to wear your suit in a still tent because it captures your moisture.
Yeah, it's like climate controlled, right?
Well, it captures the moisture and gathers it in a catch pocket, and you drink from the catch pocket.
Which, don't we kind of have something like that on Earth?
Well, in what sense?
Like, don't we have like a tent that gathers the moisture from the air? I know they have. I saw it years ago.
If they do, I guarantee it's based on this.
Probably. I know they have this.
This is a sand compaction tool.
Okay.
So it allows them to, because if you plant a still tent, there's a chance the still tent can like hold a massive amount of weight on top of it of sand. So if you plant it in the wrong spot, the
sand will bury it.
Yeah. So this is how you get it out, and then like you gather all the dew. This is
Sand mouse.
The sand mouse. So he's using his warm ears to gather the cool breeze from the night. And precipitating out moisture, so that's why Stilgar says, the Moadi makes his own moisture. So it shows adaptation.
Yeah,
there's so much adaptation on Dune to the harsh environment to be able to survive.
But I saw years ago they sell this special cup, right, that a biker can put like on the middle of their bike.
Okay,
like like the bar that kind of is in the middle.
Yeah.
So
the Nutcracker.
Yeah, you put it there, and as you're riding the bike in like the humidity of like the summer, it gathers the humid air and it converts it to water that you could drink.
Wow, okay.
It's pretty fucking cool. Now, I can't imagine driving one in like New York City and just drinking that water, but you could in theory.
I think a still suit would appeal to you because you used to wrestle, so I'm sure you've worn the vinyl suit.
I have worn the sauna suit many times, and I've made my own where you put the garbage bag on and then like shirts and everything.
So imagine the sauna suit, and you just reach down and you pull out like a water bottle, and all it is
my sweat.
Process, but yeah, your reclaimed sweat.
I remember there were times like when you take it off, it's just like a bucket of water pouring out of you.
I wrestled minorly, but I was a manager, and I remember going to meets, and somebody was overweight, and we were on like a little yellow, not a yellow, but like a commuter bus, like 30 people maybe, and every window was closed, the heat was cranked up, and somebody was just running up and down this 10-foot walkway because they were overweight.
I've been
and
there.
Like how hard it was for me, and I'm next to a window like, because like the heat, and the heat and the CO2 was like making my claustrophobia kick in.
I remember doing that, and then I would keep spitting into a bag. Trying to remove as much moisture as possible.
And just waiting for weigh-in.
Yeah.
Because once weigh-in happens,
you're fine.
All bets are off. Yeah.
You start chugging Gatorade and Powerade, everything else. And then it's like, I have a match in 3 days. I have to do this again. And I used to be thin, believe it or not. And then after I was done wrestling, I was like, I'm eating everything forever.
I worked with a guy who was a prison guard for 30 years, and he had a strict haircut policy.
Okay.
And once he retired, he said, fuck it. He said, I'm growing my hair as long as I want.
Yeah.
And my bosses hated it, but he's like, I'm 60 years old. I'm just doing this for fun. I don't care what you think about my hair. Yeah.
Be mad. It doesn't matter. This is extra money to me.
So now Kynes and Duncan have rescued Paul.
And they've taken them to
They've taken it to an Imperial Ecological Station, which is again brought up in the books. Barely addressed here, but it has to be addressed here because you need to get this spot where they
reconvene.
Where they have a meeting, and they get you'll see. But this is where in the book, this is where Kynes totally goes Atreides.
Okay.
And it's great.
Oh, these are those plants you were talking about earlier, right?
No, this is not the conservative. This is one of the ecological testing stations. But it's showing like, okay, so they're using these stations to try to make green life.
See if we could grow things on Arrakis.
Yeah. This this is going to bother me for both movies.
Okay.
So it's the day. This is when you're not supposed to be out. And they're like making coffee? It looks like they're making coffee. And it's like, why are you drinking a hot thing in the sun? Because they definitely do it in Dune Part 2. Not a spoiler. They're out there making coffee in the sun. And it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, you want to use the heat, you know?
I don't know. They're not as like, it's an abandoned station. The Duke wanted access to these because he wanted the equipment, but they're Imperial property. So Kynes did not want to give them up. Plus, they're also a way to make the planet better. So Kynes is against this. But like to see it like in disarray like this is kind of weird. But now Paul is trying to get Kynes on his side, which it should work, but it doesn't again work as like in the book. In the book, there's a lot of mental.
You gotta sway and persuade.
There's a lot of Jessica saying like she's marveling at it, like he knows his father's dead, and he's dealing with this, but like Kynes at one point like falls to their knees, and it's just like I know who you are, you share my vision, you are willing to do this, I will give my life for you. And like Jessica's like, what is it about Atreides that establishes this fanaticism upon, everyone around them that like nobody else can do, which is why part of the reason why they're so dangerous.
Because he's the Messiah.
No, but even Leto was able to do it, not being the Messiah. Leto was able to get all these people to like Duncan and Gurney is not an Atreides.
Yeah.
Duncan is on Atreides, but they are like
they're loyal.
They're completely like to the death loyal to them because like they're the
care.
Good guys. They're truthful.
People.
Yeah, they're very good people.
See, everyone, if you're a good person, maybe you can amass an army of people to come help you out.
I don't know. It's like Mr. Spice Coffee.
The spice.
Just that little, like, because we're like showing the Fremen are like they're fucking great, like just like a little, like something a sand particle out of place sets them up to alert. I love the repulsors.
These are cool.
Yeah, this apparently there was a scene from this movie that wasn't used that shows like either Duncan or Gurney like repulsoring down to the planet, and it is definitely used to great effect in the second movie.
Yes, but yeah. I was wondering so when I was watching the second movie, they're using it, and I was like, is the gravity less on this planet? But no, they're using technology to help them.
Yes, and in the book, they wonder about this. Thufir gets caught out of the city, gets with a group of Fremen, and he's trying to get back to Arrakis. They can't they're not talking the same language.
Okay.
They're talking, but they can't seem to make a connect. And finally they make a connect because they're like, there's no bond of water. Like it's to play into how water is so deep. Somebody dies and they're like, do you want to give his water to our tribe? And he's like, yes. And they're like, okay, it's the bond of water. Boom. And like, they're totally in. And they wonder if repulsors, but they watch the Fremen take down 2 groups of Sardaukar. And they're amazed at like how great of warriors they are.
It's cool. Like they hide in the sand and wait for the right moment.
Yes.
And there's a thing where it's like 1 Fremen is equal to like 5 regular soldiers almost.
I would say 1 Fremen's equal to like at least 2 Sardaukar.
Yeah.
Normal soldiers, 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Like
they kick ass.
Yeah. Like there's a scene with Kynes' father. It's in the appendices of Book Dune. He comes across 3 kids against like 6 Harkonnen soldiers, and the kids just like decimate him. And 1 gets injured, which is why he saves the child. So they're trying to figure out what to do with him. So like that's how the older Liet gets in with the Fremen.
Here's Duncan, Idaho, Jason Momoa kicking ass. And it is weird seeing like an unbearded Jason Momoa.
But again,
I love that scene.
Is in the book, and it's a great scene in the book.
Oh, this is cool. Like I like Duncan, and I'm kind of bummed out by the result of this.
Well, it's not okay. It's not a Dune 2 spoiler. It's future movies. I don't know if they're even going to include it. But in the book, he gets fucking gollumed. So
Like-
they make clones of him. And
really?
he's constantly showing up.
Oh, there's Duncan Idaho clones?
Yes, there's Duncan Idaho golems or golems.
And that's in the other books?
That's in the other books.
Oh, whoa.
I think that's what, like I said, I checked out. I like this movie.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with fucking clone golems and this
You're
other-
doing too much?
Yeah. Like this is a Lasbeam, which again doesn't make sense because you don't know if the other people on the side have a shield. Which, yeah, but it looks cool.
This is cool too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Momoa's like, fuck you.
But he's got they all have shields on, you notice. So like they
Yeah.
wouldn't be using like if there's any chance that there's a laser gun in your
shield area.
in your area, like you just don't use it. Because let's say that guy drops his las gun, boom, yet you're all fucking molten glass.
And you may have like blown up this whole area.
Well, you'll kill both sides of the shield.
Yeah.
Paul sees Duncan die in the book, but as he throws the bolt hole, and this is kind of in the book, which is cool. In the book, there's glowing arrows on the floor, and as they pass them, they extinguish. So even if someone was following them, you don't know which way they go.
Okay.
So this is towards the book, which is it's good. I like it.
So when you're walking through it, just knows like, yeah, once someone passes, we turn off.
Well, yeah, because it's meant to be. They explain in the book, living under the Harkonnens for so long, they develop all these strategies to get away. So they set up a thopter. It's hidden. It's in the book. It's hidden in a wall, so that nobody can see it from above.
Okay.
And there's all these arrows, but as soon as you cross the arrows, they go out, so nobody can follow you, but you can at least escape.
Yeah.
And Kynes knows the way, and Kynes is like, hey, look, I work for the Imperium. Nobody can really say anything about me. I'm kind of above all this, so I'm not worried. Nobody really saw you with me, and I'll get away. This. Okay.
And if I'm correct.
This is great. Visually, it's great.
Yeah.
But you saw the ships flying around. If you see
they would notice.
They're like, hey. Maybe we should send them.
There's an ornithopter right there.
Yeah, let's just send somebody down there to get rid of it. Yeah.
Now I will say, I believe, doesn't this location come back in the second movie as like there's an important thing here? I don't want to name it to spoil the second movie for anyone who hasn't seen it.
There are multiple Imperial stations all throughout Arrakis.
Okay.
It is because like
you know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah. It's an area to study. It's it's just like it's got laboratories, it's got this, it's got that, it's got other. There's let's say hundreds of them at least. They're off limits to the Atreides because they're Imperial. That's why they were trying to that's where they were kind of trying to get in with Kynes, and Kynes was pissed off about it. Because Kynes like, yeah, you're just using me. And they're like, yeah, okay. But so now
at this point, they got to be like, "Fuck, God damn it, we know that was them." That one guy.
Yeah, he sees them leaving,
and now
in the okay,
I love the way these sound too in the movie.
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
boom,
yeah,
boom, boom,
so
and now they're the big
it's
worms
a little quick, but I'm gonna give you a gimme.
It was in the area.
Yeah. Now, in the book, a lot of stuff happens at night, which it should. And I understand you can't do it during the day.
Yeah.
I'm okay with they don't have masks on because you got to see the actors' faces.
Yeah.
That's why we're paying Zendaya millions of dollars because we want to see Zendaya's face.
And she's barely in this.
Yes.
And now Nyes was stabbed,
yes.
right?
In the book, Kynes is set out in the desert, still suit ripped, or still suit removed, just left with a Jabba cloak.
Okay.
Jabba cloak. Again, just going from memory. Able to like kind of, but just with a still suit in proper order, you lose a thimble full of water a day.
Okay.
Even in the great open desert.
And that's enough to get you a pretty far distance.
Yeah. Now in the Lynch movie, they show them ripping like the tubes out and shit. So like, yeah, you're fucked. We're gonna put you out in the desert. This is the way you're gonna die. And that's the way they kind of leave Kynes in the book. It doesn't take any Sardaukar with him.
Yeah, here she's like
hitting the drum stand.
The worm's gonna fucking eat us all.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
In the book, Kynes gets taken by a spice blow.
Okay.
So a spice flow is deep in the desert, baby worms come together. This is how baby worms come. Like it's trying to explain that the different
different sizes almost.
No, not the different sizes. The cycle, the life cycle.
Okay.
Of worms, and so baby sand trout, which come into play later in the movie. I'm not sure, later in the books. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the movie.
Was it in yesterday's movie or
no,
not?
No,
2 days ago.
Sand trout are like these little leathery scraps of.
Okay.
But they're alive. But sand trout gather enough. They capture water. When the water gets to a certain point, it creates like CO2 and it's toxic and creates spice. And it doesn't get messed up with a maker because they don't like water. And then it exchanges on the surface for what's underneath, spice blow. But there's hope that Kynes is going to get saved until Kynes doesn't get saved.
Yeah.
And Kynes is having like this whole mind exchange with with their father.
Yes, I do remember that.
But they do escape in the storm.
In the book, they want way more of like drama and tension from certain things. In the movie, they're like, yeah, that doesn't matter. Just pay attention to the main characters.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they were here. They're dead now. Pay attention to Paul and his mommy.
Yeah.
Do you think Paul is a mama's boy?
In what sense?
He's very close with his mother.
Well, he can't be close to his father.
True.
But I would say he's, in so much that he's a Duncan's boy or a Gurney's boy.
Okay.
Like, this is what he is. Like, the Duke's busy. Like, the Duke is an absentee father.
Yeah.
Almost Cats in the Cradle.
He's an absentee landlord.
He's a worm in the desert.
Okay.
So, like, hey, I can see that's why, like, the scenes with his father are so important. Like,
impactful.
Yeah. But he knows his father loves him. And, like, every time his father sees him, it is all about, I love you. They've tried to take the life of my son. Like it's.
They build it.
Yeah.
Jameis.
Now,
we
know he's Jameis, do
yes. We? Well, they said his name on the closed captions for us.
Oh, okay.
But we know he's Jameis because of that. And we know the movie.
Yeah.
Famous Jameis, who would go on to bake cookies. I was
going to say his cookies are amazing.
Yeah.
Little gritty.
That's what I say.
Yeah, little gritty.
And there's like a weird spice in them too.
I eat them. I see things. Yeah. My eyes turn blue, but who knows? Okay, this is what I feel is the callback, is the fan service to the Lynch scene.
Okay, how so?
Like, it's like fluid, doctors. Like, we don't want to show them like getting boils lanced or anything else like that. But it's alien. It's fucking alien.
Yeah, it's weird oil shit. It's disturbing.
Yeah. People in like bald people with no eyebrows or anything, and like shower curtains, pouring black fluid in things, touching buttons.
The Lynch version is both of these, honestly, are so visually memorable.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like the design and like just the way things look, like you never forget some of these images.
Did you notice the fireworks? No spoilers in Dune 2.
I think I did.
Okay, they were great.
Yeah.
Go see Dune 2. If you can, Alamo Drafthouse. Alamo Drafthouse?
Yeah, Alamo Drafthouse.
Is that what it's called?
Alamo?
It's just called Alamo?
Alamo Drafthouse.
Alamo Cinemas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing there. And you get great food, trust me.
Yeah. You could go there. IMAX, definitely go see it.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying, when we went there to see...
We saw Oppenheimer there.
My God. I was tired and I fell asleep for a bit. Whoa, was I woken up.
Yeah,
Whoa.
You woke up at the bomb scene, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It looked good.
But these are movies you almost have to see with the
right setting.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like you don't see this in the theater and the first time you see it is like on your TV with like the sun projecting at it. It's like, you're not getting the same experience.
Like, you're not getting this wind noise from the storm.
Yeah, and like you probably don't have like 5.1 Dolby surround sound hooked up perfectly where you could just blare it and get the feel.
Like, this is where in the book, Paul is, this whole time he is running the thopter.
Yeah.
And like, I think she falls asleep, but he is just like being very
Women
careful.
Just can't, they can't drive, they can't fly. Yeah.
It's like when I went to Florida with Waltz, he just fell asleep. Like it's this, he's using it.
Not as he was driving though, right?
No. I almost did at one point. Fucking the traffic in Washington DC is just horrible.
It's nightmare.
It's like you're like stuck in it. It's It's like it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like there shouldn't be traffic. Or it was like 10 o'clock. Like it is showing almost his force like when pod racing.
Okay.
Like he is seeing vortices. There's things that aren't explained here, which I take by context. Like that is the thing sputtering out in the red light. Like, okay, maybe you don't have enough jet pod energy.
Yeah.
And
he's looking for Sebulba.
Yeah.
A young, what's he called? Fuck. A young local boy.
Local boy, Anakin Skywalker. Yeah.
Now that's ornithopting.
It's thopting time.
Yeah.
Again, you know what? Slight difference from the book. I'm okay with it.
It's so minute, some of the changes.
Like in the book, the Thopters, Paul was so good. Like this storm, which is supposed to etch bones, it's supposed to like tear metal apart. He was able to like
navigate it.
Yeah. So now he's like, but things got damaged. Things definitely got damaged, and he's just trying to
glide, basically.
Well, in the book, he's trying to set it down, like not stress anything. But what gets me in this is, you're gonna see like 3 wings fall off. So he's down to like 1 wing. He's down to 1 wing. They're like, how high? 1,000 feet off the.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna hit. There's just no way to.
Would a shield help them?
No, because they explained in the earlier scene, shield calls worms for.
No, but like, would it stop them from?
I think there'd still be the kinetic force inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was soft sand.
Again, in the book, he glances dunes and kills her speed. So they do crash, but they don't crash as bad as that should have been. Should have been.
Do you think, like, would a Fremen be like, oh my God, look at this guy. Like, he's awesome. If I just like started peeing next to one, like not in the suit, I just started like pissing on the floor. Would a Fremen be like, whoa, what a like show of respect. Giving me his moisture.
That's a good question.
Like, would they be like, whoa?
No, I think that would be an insult.
Oh yeah?
Like it is so much water. Like a bit of moisture.
A spit is fine.
A spit is fine, yeah.
But if I just started peeing, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, because the dinner scene, great scene. Like, it's literally very well. It's so well done. There's like, there's ploys, counter ploys. Jessica's seeing things, and she's trying to figure out if Paul is seeing them as well, because Paul's 12. They're trying to ply him with like fucking chicks. And they're like,
he's 12 in the book?
12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very young. But they're trying to like, they're putting like, hotties around him. And like this is a weird scene. This is a weird scene.
Why?
Because like they're on a rock with caves.
Yeah.
And they're undressing in front of each other, and like they're doing that, looking at each other. Like I've had to change in front of my mother before and my father before.
Yeah.
And it's like I will go as far away as possible to do it.
His mom's really hot though.
Okay, but that's it.
I mean, I know it's his mom.
Someone recently told me they felt like they had an incestuous relationship, and I didn't understand it. But seeing that scene and thinking about it, like, okay, you know what? I could see where someone who hasn't read the book thinks that.
I could see it in these movies, but that could just be the actor chemistry. Maybe they like each other.
Peter Brady or Greg Brady and Mrs. Brady.
Did they?
I thought they dated.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Didn't one of them have a reality show where he dated Adrian Curry and they got married, and it was like, I married a Brady on like VH1?
I have a vague recollection of it. I don't know whether it was the middle son.
It's the middle son. One.
Yeah.
Is that Greg?
Peter, Greg, and
who's the youngest?
Peter.
Peter is the youngest. Alan? Is there an Alan? No.
Alan?
Tom?
No, that's the guy who does D&D. I don't know.
I don't know.
I like I said, I just feel like you got all these holes in these rocks. I think they wouldn't be doing this out like in the open desert. Like they would be hiding. Now we're acknowledging because we acknowledged the pregnancy before.
Yeah.
In the book, the pregnancy doesn't happen until Paul's like hitting ascension knowledge, and he's like, I know you have a daughter, and she's like, how do you know? I barely just detected it, and now you, my son, who shouldn't be trained in this, is detecting it. We're showing his dreams with Chani, which they kind of It was in the book before. It was kind of shown with the Reverend Mother.
I like the way they do the visions in this.
Yeah. I do like Chani. Like if you had to say elfin face, which is Chani's described as elfin faced, like
elfin faced.
Yeah, I see Zendaya as kind of like an elf.
Really, I don't see her like an elf.
Like an elf, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I don't see her as an elf.
Oh, okay.
Like to me, an elf has a very almost pointy features. That's like in my head.
The ears are pointy.
Ears, but I also figure like
I feel the face is soft, like in Dark Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
To me, like I think really like a point, like super thin, slender, slight pointy nose almost. I don't know.
Okay.
Like that's just elfish to me. I don't
see them as being
her.
like in sympathy with the forest, not sympathy, but whatever, in commune with the forest. So like they're always provided for. So like, you know, in the books, the Fremen are like, they know that they're off waters because their flesh is water fat.
Okay.
Like they're not like I believe like the Fremen are described as like whipcord.
You're well hydrated.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you would be really drawn out as a Fremen, right? Like you barely have any water.
Yeah. Well, every bit of water you have, you either have it on you or you have
or you took it from someone you killed and you drained the water.
You have what's known as water counter beads. Water counter rings. So like, let's say I need water from you. I give you a water counter ring. You give me water, and now that is your water.
And it replenishes yourself, kind of. It's like a new source.
Yes, but in the book, field rates are 10 for 1. So if I ask you for a pint of water, I got to give you 10 pints of water.
Oh, okay.
So that's like out in the fields, like yeah.
And now they're doing the
sand walk,
the Wonka dance.
Yes,
where you have to walk at an angle.
Well, it's you break your stride so you don't sound any different than the natural noises of the desert. So like a shifting sand dune, a rock falling, the wind blowing this, It's not a.
Yeah, there's no rhythm to it,
yeah.
So the sandworms don't detect you.
If you walk without rhythm, you won't attract the worm. Which was from the original Dune, sampled in that great Fatboy Slim song.
They sampled that.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
because
which featured Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken,
who is in Dune 2.
Oh wow, full circle.
Wow. Do you think that was planned?
I don't think so, but maybe that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. like I saw this fat boy, like Dennis Villanueva, like was watching MTV back as a kid.
Yes,
like, I love this video. Christopher Walken's in it. Is he still available? He's alive? Great.
It was weird seeing Christopher Walken act. He's in Dune 2. Act in something real. Because I feel like he's just been playing himself for the past 20 years.
The voice, I feel he should have done something with the voice. Because now you can't hear that voice without it being
comical almost.
Comical, yes. Children, why are you scooching? Oh, I've told you about the scooching. Your father wore this uncomfortable thing in his ass for 5 years. Like, it's just, everything is... It's like Al Pacino. Al Pacino can't do anything.
J-Man.
Yeah, Al Pacino can't do anything when he's not Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's just been screaming since Scent
Charlie,
of a Woman.
Yeah. It's drum sand. Okay, so you know...
Drum sand makes like a bigger noise, right?
Yes, it's a level of sand compaction and it causes resonance. So, but they're close enough to the rock. In the book, this is like a 5-kilometer run between 2 different rock outcrops. So they set up a thumper and the thumper eventually gets silenced and they're close to this other rock. They realize they hit drum sand and now they're like in a panic.
We gotta run.
Yeah. Oh, I had to turn the lights off before to watch this because it's dark and I understand why they didn't do the movie as dark because it's so tough to see like in your average.
You want people to see the detail.
Yeah,
you know?
Which you can in a dark movie theater, but yes. Like right now
it's hard on the
with
TV.
The studio lights. Yeah.
Yeah, the screen is like black. It may as well be. Yeah. Right? Like, like I cannot see what's happening.
Like I wonder if we timed out.
Oh, there you go. I'm assuming it was the giant worm.
Yeah, I think it was the worm coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so dark, the screen was literally black for us.
Like I was hoping for captions to let us know that again the TV was on.
The worm is rising.
Yeah. And the worm is there now. the teeth are supposed to glow on their own. That's what's cool about a crysknife. Like when you pull a crysknife out, it glows on its own.
Okay.
And there are two types of crysknives. There's fixed and unfixed. An unfixed knife has to be kept near the body. If it's not kept near the body, it disintegrates.
Really?
Yes, on its own. It has to be kept near a living force, which is why it's so cool. And an unfixed crysknife has never left Arrakis. I don't think even a fixed crysknife is up there. Like there is a...
Well, it's so inconvenient, to...
Yeah. In the book, there's like a 1 billion reward for a crysknife to make it off Arrakis.
Okay.
So like I got to kill a Fremen and I got to keep his knife and then I got to get off the world. So that's like how rare
it's hard.
Yeah. So like that's why I've kind of like the other movies, like when they kind of play to it glows a little. Like it glows up its own force. And it's cool that it has to be kept near you. So it's like, again, it shows like the suffering they go through. They're like, we got to keep a knife on us at all times. And it's not necessary. It's necessary for two different reasons. Number one, it's going to disintegrate. Number two, we need it, but you can't let anybody else see it, which is cool. There's like almost like a samurai code of like,
you pull this out when you need to.
What movie am I thinking of? We're like,
Last Samurai?
No, where blood has to be drawn before they can put it back.
Is that Gangs in New York? The blood stays on the blade.
No, it's...
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of Dune. Fuck. The shout out Mapes like pulls out a knife to show Lady Jessica. She's like, you can't sheathe that unless it draws blood. And she's like, oh fuck. And so she's like, she has Jessica cut her.
Is that in this one? No, right?
It should have been. I don't know if it was in this one.
It was that scene at the very beginning where she pulls out the knife.
She pulls out the crysknife, but I'm not sure if they explained it.
Okay. They probably didn't because Villanueva doesn't like to explain.
Yeah. Okay, now...
This scene's cool.
This scene is cool, but it's wrong. In that Kynes has put out the word to all the Fremen. Be on the lookout for two off-worlders. Keep them safe. And in the Fremen world, if someone is told to be safe, you don't betray that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene where Stilgar is like, he's like, all the water the Harkonnens have would not let us betray you because you are like one of the tribe. And like she's trying to get off to Caladan. It is great. Like in the book and like this, they just show up. Like the Fremen, like these people who have like these senses, they're still able to be like surprised by these Fremen.
Yeah, they know the land better than anybody, you know? Like,
yeah. Now it's brought up, but I don't think it's ever brought up again. Like he's like, the boy can have my continent, even though we were told to protect these people. The boy can have my continents, but the woman he doesn't think she's trainable. And it's such a drain on the tribe that he's like, yeah, we probably just got to get rid of her. We were told to keep these two people safe. We can keep one safe. But she fucking bests Stilgar.
She like uses her wits.
Yes. In the book, she pretends to faint. And he like reacts and and she's behind him with a knife. And again, similar scenes, but
done in a different way.
Yeah. He is like, why didn't you say you were a wielding woman and a fighter? And he recognizes the ability of this. When they go into the villages, they can't bring crysknives with them because they're sacred. They can't bring weapons with them because they don't want to be discovered weapons. If they have a fighting style that could defeat other people unarmed, like that's a weapon you can't take away. And that is her weight. And she's like, I could teach this way. I will teach this way.
I'll teach you how to be like me.
If you give me continents, I will teach you this way. And like Stilgar realizes this. Stilgar is smart. Stilgar is the head of his whole entire siege, which is like 200,000 people.
He's a leader
that he keeps safe. Yeah, and he's got to train all these kids. Like Jameis is a kid, and Jameis has a spirit to him, and he constantly has to disarm Jameis because he knows he can kill him. And his value is to the tribe, but being like wild is not a value to the tribe. So some people you have to call, and some people who have the skill you have to like
have to mold.
Yeah, you have to walk them through this time of like I'm so like I want to kill everything, which is what he's in now.
And here we have
Yeah. Now in the book, Zendaya can't find Chani can't find him. Like that is how good he is. And like Stilgar's trying to like tell him to come down and he won't. And
Now, what is the nose thing?
It's to conserve moisture. So
you're breathing.
You exhale so much moisture through your mouth. So you breathe in through your mouth, exhale through your nose. The nose now goes into the reclamation.
Okay.
So that's where you're reclaiming your moisture.
In your nose.
Yeah. Cool scene in the book in that like Stilgar pulls the Maul pistol off Paul. Like sleight of hand style, and it's great. And he's like, yeah, you get a pistol in your own time. Right now, let's just get going.
You don't need it right now.
Yeah, you don't need it right now. And
this is cool.
Jameis is knocked out in the book, and then like, twas but a lucky shot, like that he got me. Like it wasn't skill, and he like
harbors
smolders.
Right?
He smolders on it till they get to like the next stop.
Yeah, and they have a fight.
Yeah, they do have a fight. Well, yeah, it's coming up to it. In the book, Stilgar tries to disarm him. He tries to take the fight to himself. And he knows Stilgar won't challenge him.
Yeah.
Because he knows Stilgar can kick his ass. But he's trying to disarm the fight. It's, again, I know it's tough. This is like 4 pages of dialogue.
Yeah.
Of like discussing, the Lisan al-Agib, the legend that she will bring her own champion. So it's not her, it's her own champion. Even though Jessica can fucking kick his ass. And Jessica knows she can fucking kick his ass.
But the point is, it's like...
And Jessica starts using the voice, in the book, Jessica starts using the voice. And that's when she realizes that these people have a strength to it. And like he holds his fist to his ear. And like she tries she tries witchery on me. And she can't speak anymore. So
I love this this fight.
It's so weird in that they're so water conscious, but they're having a fight outside in the sun. In the book, it's done inside without still suits, and whoever the victor is gets the water of the person they killed because they had a fight without a still suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, this makes it, I think this makes it pretty cinematic with them, being in the hot sun and all that.
Yeah. But,
and Paul was just meditating, seeing like a potential future.
He's seeing there's things that are blind to him.
Yeah.
He sees him. Has seen himself die. He's seen himself die in a knife. He didn't know who was the one who killed him. But he can't right now see. He can't see what the outcome to this is. So it is strange to him. Now in the book, Chani is all for him.
Yeah.
Like Chani's like, hey, look, Jameis is known to shift knives. He doesn't use his dominant hand. He talks too much. Like, this is stuff we've seen in them. Chani seems to understand, again, just like Stilgar does, that Jameis is being
an asshole.
A douche, yeah. He's being a douche. He's endangering the tribe, and this doesn't need to get done, and I'm going to help you. And I think mentions that this the Chris knife was given to her by her aunt, which I'm guessing is Kynes. In the book, her father is Kynes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you wish that like we lived in a society where you could challenge someone to like a duel to the death?
No, because I don't feel that I'm prepared for that.
Well, you don't have to accept.
I do wish other people were challenged to that, because that might be actually enjoyable to watch.
If dueling was around, I would have dueled so much in like my 20s and 30s. I would definitely be dead.
Well, see, but that's what Stilgar is trying to do. Stilgar is trying to stop people from dueling. Like, you got to carefully guide them through this time of turmoil, so that they don't just go fucking killing each other. And when you had 20 kids, now you have 5 kids.
He's like a high school principal.
Yeah, or a teacher, yeah. In Staten Island.
He's like he's like Tim Meadows in Mean Girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the baseball bat trying to be Joe Clark. Okay.
Yeah.
I like Harvey Bardem as Stilgar, but he's too Harvey Bardem for Stilgar. Stilgar is supposed to be like, he's a leader, so he's got that voice. Yeah. He's like, "Arr!" And Have you ever done? It's like
What?
this.
What is the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
You have a cutter on you. Yeah, you know.
Jameis, call it. This is the best deal I can offer to you. Anton Sugar.
I agree. I do like the fight. It's
cool.
It's weirder in still suits. Because like I see the still suit as it's not like it's like when you go out in the winter in like a full like ski suit. Like you don't have your full motion. In the book, again, they're down to like bare feet and I don't know that. Ooh, that seemed very
primal.
Black Panther? Yeah.
Fremen forever.
Like, oh yeah, the guy was like, Umbaku de.
Umbab de.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fight, but now it's explained in the book, not here. But we've kind of the slow knife allows the blade.
The slow knife penetrates
the shield.
Yeah.
So everything is it's time for you're supposed to time for unshielded fighting, but you fall into the rut of timing for shielded fighting. So Jameis is pretty much kind of an equal to Paul in shielded fighting, but not unshielded fighting.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be every time Paul goes to make a cut, Jameis has moved out of the way because he doesn't have to slow down for that.
Yeah.
Paul gets first blood, and that's when he asks him for, do you yield?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you yield? And it has to be explained that that's the way he was taught. But all these scenes where he's got the fucking knife against his throat and doesn't cut him just doesn't make sense.
Well, I like it. I like that this is showing you that Paul could take him out whenever he wants, but Paul is hesitant and trying to show mercy.
But Jessica says, like, I think
he's never killed before.
Has Jessica said that already?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that doesn't get brought up until after the fight.
Yes, in the book.
Yes, because they don't understand the shield delay. She does, but she can't talk to her in the fight because he's invoked she must be silent. And then she fucking spanks him in the book.
Yes.
Because she doesn't want him to get happy being a killer. Because now he is like, in the book, he is amped up. Like, he is like, I just killed somebody. And because in the book, he's already killed somebody. He already killed one of the guys on the Thopter.
On the Thopter,
but not with knife fight. He kicked him, caved in his chest, and the guy just fell down dead.
Okay.
So he has killed before, but he's never killed before in
one-on-one combat.
In one-on-one combat, yeah. So they see them as toying with him, but he's not toying with him.
They're like insulted at first, and he's like, "I'm trying to avoid killing this guy."
Because he was like taught first blood, and that's like, well, the Amatoll rule is it has to be to the death, and so he's still trying to kill him, but he is trying. He's got the shield to him, and he doesn't realize he can't get past that. And eventually, there comes a point when a person's movement can be used against the shield. So if you have the knife here and the person moves to it.
Yes, that's a fixed point. Yeah.
And then, like, he moves, he does a feint, he moves, Jameis falls on the knife and is dead.
And Jameis and Chani were together, weren't they?
No. Jameis was with
another person.
Hara was.
I thought you said Chara for a second.
No.
Hara. Like, Coochie.
No. Jameis was with Hara, who has two children, one with Jameis, one with the person Jameis killed to get Hara.
Okay.
So
she's a homie hopper.
Well, she
enemy hopper.
Well, no, she didn't know. It's the way of the Fremen. You can either when you kill someone in combat, you can either take them as a servant or you can take them as a wife, and you have a year to choose.
Okay.
And so he just takes her as a servant initially.
I think all people watching this, if you're single, should try to institute that policy with your next date. Be like, look, I'm going to give this 1 year to decide if I make you my servant or my wife.
Well, I can make you my wife, and in a year change that idea. Like, but he's still bound to the children somewhat. He still has to partially take care of the children.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, again, a lot was meant into the Fremen of it makes sense. And like I think Stilgar even says, like, it doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to us because it's the way it's been done and it's the way it works. This is
how we live.
Yeah, we've probably tried other ways and it didn't work as well. This is the way it is. Like there's like zero.
It's like when people come to Jersey and they're like, what do you mean I can't pump my own gas here? we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
It works for us.
Yeah.
It's cold. I don't want to go outside.
Do you want to catch on fire? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to keep, uneducated people employed? Yes.
When was the last time you pumped your own gas? Because I imagine you mostly stay in Jersey.
No, when we went down to Florida. But I used to pump gas. I used to work. I've worked at sandworm riding. This I have a problem with, and we'll address that on the next one. Whatever.
When that comes out, we'll definitely do a second commentary. This was fun.
Yeah. I used to pump my own. I worked for Amoco and Exxon.
Okay.
So I've pumped gas many times, and I have no problem with it.
Did you ever witness someone rip the pump off and drive away?
No, it always happened. Well, it always happened after my shift. Like I'd come in and there'd just be a pump sitting in front of the kiosk. You'd be like, "What happened?" Oh, okay, yeah, someone drove off. So now we gotta click on. And I'm like, I always check.
Yeah.
Like I listen for the 3 clicks. I always look out my back. Okay, movie's over.
That's it.
Okay, movie's over. Right now,
Angie has done it, and they want us to watch the 1984 Dune.
God, it's so good.
Maybe we'll do that one too.
But you got to pick a version because there's so many versions out there.
I've only ever seen one version. It was probably the regular.
Yeah, like I had a girlfriend, and I think she had a brother who worked at Suncoast.
Okay.
Again, this is late 90s. I was in college in Pennsylvania, and I wanted her to see if she could find me like the extended, because I'd only seen the Sci-Fi Channel be like, this is the only place you can watch this version. And I'd be like, that's the version I want to watch because I watched it and I loved it. And that's the version I kind of fell in love with. Plus, it's also, you can watch it in like 3 hours, not watch it in 6 hours.
Yeah.
PG-13, okay.
And I definitely want to watch the Dune miniseries and the sequel because apparently they adapted the second and third books on
the Sci-Fi Channel.
On the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah. I remember seeing that because I remember a particular scene that I know is in the book.
They call it Children of Dune.
Yeah. That's weird. That is like, you watch it, and if you watch things elsewhere, it is such a Stargate. It is a Stargate Dune.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, it is like, we're just going to film this out in the same
location.
The same quarry in British Columbia or the same forest in British Columbia. It's That
was like when you would watch the CW shows and everyone they're in the same spots.
Yes. Like, Walt constantly tells me that, like, Deep Space Nine and Voyager look like they're CW shows, and I'm like, no, there's a difference. They're
in California.
Yeah, they had sets.
Unless they're outside, and then they're in California.
Well, they're still outside in California.
Yeah,
like they're at a library that looks cool. They're at a university that looks cool that you've seen in a million other movies, but it still looks cool. It's not the same. It's not. 13 planets look like the same forest in British Columbia that we got a film permit to film at. And like everything is the same village in a quarry.
At least like go to New Mexico if you're going to do Dune, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
know where did they film this? Was it like Tanzania or like
I would not be surprised if it was like Algeria or like somewhere like that.
It just looks great.
It looks good. It's probably that and like CG and some volume stuff. Are they on Arrakis in the sequels?
Children of Dune and
Dune Messiah, or Dune Messiah and Children of Dune?
I'm not gonna lie and say I remember. I don't remember. Yeah, but I want to say he probably has to kind of keep
some.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, because I remember there's a sand trout scene, so they have to be on Arrakis for it to be sand trout. Yeah, so
maybe they go back at times or something,
or maybe that's like where he sets up his, like Kaladin was
the Atreides,
the home base Atreides. Yeah, now it's the Arrakis is the home base of the Atreides because you don't want the Harkonnens there. You don't want anything else taking over.
Yeah.
And he's promised to the Fremen that he will, what he said to Kynes, I will make this a paradise with a wave of my hand. Like, why would you want to? You don't want to promise that to the Fremen and leave.
Not deliver. Yeah,
you don't want to leave. So
well, that's it for drunk commentary time. The first one.
Oh yeah.
Drink up.
Yes.
Did you finish?
No.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, take one last chug.
I talk a lot.
Yeah.